What happened?
I think you're live.
I didn't go live. My picture's not live.
I can hear us.
No, but my picture's not live.
Oops.
Huh. Something's wrong. Hang on. Let me find out what it is. In the meantime, let me just put this on. Hi, guys. Or, I don't think we have anyone here yet. Well, it's good timing. Because I've messed everything up, so... this...
Oh, here, you are.
Yeah, no, yeah. I'm up now, but I don't have us up because I might have to rebuild it again.
That happens every time?
Well, it's not supposed to, but I guess it did. Wow, that is such a bummer. All right, well, I just got to do that. So we'll just have to be offline for a minute. We don't have anybody here, so this mess up is perfectly okay.
Foz is here.
Hi, Foz. What's going on? It's good to see you. I got your comment. I do have she wants us to put the links to the whatever we're covering. Fair enough. Like if we're covering a specific, if we can find like the, what do you call it? Okay, the docket stuff, whatever. You know what I mean. Oh, Felbombing's here. Well, see, now we have see, there's a bunch of people here now. They're showing up. All right, I'm sorry. I got to get to work because I got to rebuild this whole thing. So this is a pain in the butt, but I don't know why. I'll just have to do it. Take care of it tomorrow. I apologize. Angela, just because you're not on screen does not mean you cannot talk. You are very, very good at being off screen. You did it for months.
I know.
So you got to do it again. And what's worse is that they're not even going to have my attention very much because I have to. Well, actually, I'm going to put you on screen so you can get us started.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. I got to go and build something. So
everything I brought for you to comment on.
Everything I brought.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be present, just not on screen.
What?
Just for a moment.
Lame.
It's going to take me a minute. All right. Here's Angela, guys. There you are. You're on screen, Angela. Say hi to everyone.
Hello, everybody.
You're soloing. You're the solo artist.
The first thing that I brought, since I'm running the show, apparently.
You're running the show here.
Okay, so a lot of stuff happened on the Lively v. Baldoni docket.
Yes.
Do you remember, like, last week or maybe the week before, I was talking about how the Case and Coslow are the last names of two of Melissa Nathan's employees at TAG. Right. And they were trying to prevent some of their messages from being submitted in discovery in the lawsuit, and they claimed that they were privileged. And they were like, no, I can't show the court this stuff because it's privileged. Like, it's too bad. And then the judge was like, oh, yeah, well, don't worry. Like, I can handle it. Like, just send me everything, and I'll decide what's privileged. Right?
Right.
Well, he did. And so he has ruled.
Which I guess is kind of standard because that's what the Perez Hilton...
Yeah. I don't know why they didn't expect that to happen, but maybe the delay was worth it because Judge Lyman has granted in part and denied in part.
Yes.
Blake Lively's motion to compel
Which
the
was
documents.
to be expected, by the way. I think on most of these situations, you're going to get a combination of both because...
Yeah, some things are privileged, some things are not.
Exactly.
But they were saying all of it was, and they were wrong. And so here's what we are going to end up seeing. Well, I don't know if we are, but Blake Lively is going to end up obtaining communications between Katie Case and her father, who is a lawyer, but it was not privileged because he's not her lawyer.
Right.
So when some shit hit the fan, she contacted her dad and didn't want to provide any of those correspondences. Well, she has to now. Okay?
Very interesting.
Are you on screen yet?
No, I'm coming. You just mind your business.
Okay. Okay. Also, she is being made to, let's see, also granted was communications that do not include counsel because they're not privileged. So among those are several texts between Katie Case and Melissa Nathan. Coslow, I can't remember her first name. Coslow and Melissa Nathan, and then Case, Coslow, and Kalantari about Baldoni's website. Okay? So those are going to be submitted, which is really juicy for Blake Lively because certainly they're they're discussing the work that they're doing.
Certainly.
And they were trying to prevent anybody from seeing any of the messages involving the website. And I will talk more about that later because it comes up in the motion to grant treble damages.
Yes.
They talk about the website in there too.
They do?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Also was granted documents including Kalantari, who did the website, and Jed Wallace. Because apparently they were in communication together, which is super weird.
Tis?
Because Jed Wallace was supposed to just be observing stuff. So, you know.
I know. He's on all the calls.
He's in all the emails.
He's in all the emails.
Yeah.
He's praised as magnificent or...
Jed and his team are magicians.
Magicians.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Utterly magical at the way he does nothing.
Mm-hmm.
He is the best do-nothing one has ever come across. You guys should see my expression right now. It's so awesome.
I bet. Granted in part, denied in part. Okay, so the documents that were withheld on the grounds that they're work product. So if it's the work product of the attorneys, or if it's the work product, like I think that also counts as like industry, you know, not secrets, but like whatever Melissa Nathan, like how she works that she wouldn't want to share with other people who are PR professionals, you know?
Yeah.
I can't think of the words right now.
Why?
Not industry secrets. Industry, like, fuck, whatever. Okay. I hope you guys get what I'm saying. So, also communications between attorneys and clients. There were 7 documents that were privileged. 2 documents were about PR advice and are not privileged, even though the attorney was on those messages. So there you go. So it looks like she won a lot, and then she didn't lose much. But they were trying to withhold a lot more than they should have. Is the moral of the story, I think.
And so, and this has been compelled. In other words, like we have it. Is there like actual?
Well,
findings?
I don't know how it works because the judge just saw it all. So I don't know whether he just releases or whether they still have to submit it. The Wayfair parties are also still playing keep away with some of their discovery. They tried to get an extension again, and Blake Lively's attorneys, they answered. Let me find it. Sorry. This is usually the part where you talk.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm like, and then on top of it, something really weird is happening where I can't get your full picture in on this. Anyway,
that's
whatever.
okay.
I'm dealing with it.
I found it.
Yeah.
So this is Blake's opposition to Wayfair's motion for an extension. I'm just going to read what Kira 901 on Baldoni Files wrote. She's done a great job. So yesterday, Wayfair asked for an extension to produce signal messages. Right. Today, Blake's lawyers filed their opposition to that request. Okay? Yeah. And so here are just the excerpts that I think are interesting. So the Blake's lawyers wrote, the Wayfair defendant's filing made within hours of a court-ordered deadline and without conferring at all with the counsel for Ms. Lively, did not even attempt to justify their request pursuant to the court's requirements. Further, although the court did not grant the Wayfair defendants requested relief, the Wayfair defendants appear to have granted themselves the extension anyway because they failed to produce the court-ordered signal material by the deadline of last evening.
That's just sizzling.
I know. On top of this, there are a number of other issues that have arisen in the past 24 hours that appear likely to affect the party deposition schedule. Number 1, the Wayfair defendants' proposed production date for Signal Communications, which was September 15th, is the same date scheduled for Steve Sarawitz's deposition. Number 2, the Wayfair defendants produced over 80,000 pages of documents late last night, which will take days to process and more to review.
80,000, dude.
Yeah, well, you know, they've been withholding it all for so long. So they just like dropped off a truckload and was like, deal with it. You have a day.
That's a lot.
Number 3, notwithstanding that voluminous and belated production, the Wayfair parties produced search terms that appear to be woefully insufficient, raising serious questions about the completeness of their production to date. And 4, key third-party witness Catherine Case and Brianna Koslow. Okay, that's her name. They've just been ordered to produce documents by September 12th. after they have already been deposed. Accordingly, Ms. Lively respectfully submits the Wayfarer defendant's course of conduct and letter motion, whether due to gamesmanship or a lack of planning, has necessitated adjustments to the forthcoming deposition schedule, which Ms. Lively will propose as soon as feasible following conference with other parties. So here's the situation that Lively's dealing with, is that they're delaying whether they're allowed to or not. And then the end result is that they have to keep pushing these depositions. Steve Sarowitz is going to have to take his deposition without the opposition, without the plaintiffs having all the information. And for sure, that's like definitely advantageous to the Wayfarer parties.
For sure.
Yeah. So that's not good. Not good for her. Like they're winning by doing these like sneaky tactics. So, and they're just going to keep doing it until they get some sort of sanctions or something.
I'm almost with you guys.
Are you?
Yes.
I feel so alone. All right, let's see what the chat has to say.
Yeah, please. Thank you guys.
Foz is asking, okay, here's my question. Foz says, did you see the post about It Ends With Us from months ago? Here's the link. I hope it works. I do not see a link. Did I see a post about It Ends With Us from months ago?
I'm just going
to... I'm wondering what you're talking about.
Okay.
Should I just move on to this other thing? I have a lot of reading to do, but I kind of wanted you to be involved.
Hey, everybody.
Are you there?
What's going on?
You made it work?
Yeah. I'm sorry, man. Just had a little technical difficulty.
Little snafu?
Yeah, little snafu. But I'm glad to finally be here. I'm sorry I missed out on that opening because that was already hot stuff.
Well, that's okay. It was just 10 minutes.
I know, but it's the hot stuff.
It's 10 minutes that I carried.
Well, say hi to everyone.
Blood, sweat, and tears.
Foz is here. Felbaumling is here. Sorry, Felbaumling. Guilty Angel. Hello, a Guilty Angel. And Delicate, of course. So good to see you again. I'm always amazed to see you guys. SC. Topic timestamps on Finished Live. I do have to figure that out.
Yeah.
I do have to figure that out.
It's a little tricky too because we bounce around topics a lot.
Yeah, we bounce around topics. And,
yeah.
And I am to say the least, I am overwhelmed by the workload that
Dale's
this has
swamped.
created.
Yeah.
But I think I'm just going to hire some help. So
also,
I'm working through that and getting I'm going to hire a couple of editors or at least one editor.
Rather than topic timestamps on the Finished Live, the objective is to create episodes that are like edited and actually have pictures of stuff that we're talking about.
Well, both have to happen because they're right. They should be timestamped as well.
Really?
Yeah,
live?
for sure. Yeah.
We jump around so much, though. It'd be difficult.
You got to do what you got to do.
Sorry about that noisy car outside, guys.
Anyway, I'm so glad to be here. And yes, SC, I will try to do that. I do realize, Nadine, I have been thinking so much about Nadine. And here she is.
Oh, sweet.
I've literally, the last 2 days, I've been thinking a lot about her.
Yeah, well, I was thinking, Nadine, Nadine's husband has a lot of the same music taste that we do. Every time it comes
Rick
up.
Davies probably got hit by the Rick Davies news, yeah?
He got Rick Davies'd.
Oh, Rick Davies is gone. How can it be?
I know. We spent all day today listening to
well, we can
Supertramp.
Because, in the car and stuff because they've been fighting these guys. And so when you try to play
the two singers,
Roger Hodgson. I always get his name wrong.
And Rick Davies.
And Rick Davies have been fighting since 1983, I think it is.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they loathe each other, is my understanding. Absolutely hate each other. And so he, Hodgson, removes all of the songs he can from the streaming. So all of their albums are incomplete, every one of them.
That is a big drag because I was recommending people listen to the albums, but if they're not complete, that's
I didn't realize it until today or yesterday. But
is he only removing the songs that he sings on? Because I don't like them as much.
Well, he's got some great ones like Logical Song and stuff. But I think there was it might be the ones that he has rights to, so it would be publishing or
that's weird.
Masters. Yeah,
that's a bummer. And who suffers? The fans. The fans suffer. Okay, so Foz clarified the question. Did you see the post about It Ends With Us from months ago? Here's the link. I hope it works. I didn't get a link.
There's no link.
It was about the inside info about It Ends With Us that this person claimed to have. The post title was, "Okay, I know a lot of the inside drama for It Ends With Us, and I just don't know who to share it with here." Yes.
Did we read that one?
Yeah, well, I've been obsessed with this thing for like 6 months because it was published right after they started the smear campaign. Meaning it was published like literally a week after Justin Baldoni and Jamie Heath said, "Yeah, Melissa Nathan, you can go ahead. Here's the money. Here's the payment for the smear campaign."
Can you though get me like on board with what we're talking about? Because
yes.
Is it the one we've talked about?
Yeah, the Reddit post
multiple times.
Yes,
the Reddit post. I actually found that thing.
I love this thing. It's so fucking
I found that thing
bizarre.
organically. Like I went ripping through, and I dug for it way back when.
I have it here. I screenshotted it the other day because I was arguing with somebody about it online. I don't know why this thing resurfaced. Everybody's talking about it again. Okay, here it is. It says, "Okay, I know a lot of the inside drama for It Ends With Us, and I just don't know who to share it with. So here we are." And this is being posted by in the Colleen Hoover subreddit. I looked up this. This is a throwaway, right? It has one post. That's it. No comments, no nothing. There's no other information about who this person is, but they're claiming they have inside information. This person, they start saying they're using a throwaway, but I know someone who worked on the movie It Ends With Us for most of its run. And that is a clue. For most of its run. What does that mean?
I don't know that that's a clue at all. That would be something I would definitely deliberately put if I wanted someone to think that I wasn't somebody who was still on or had been on for the entire time.
Yeah. Okay. Who worked on
you have to basically take every little literal thing that they say with a grain of salt.
Yeah. Like, why would they say it to mask what? to obscure what?
All we can do is take what they said and try to compare it to what we know in as far as discovery goes.
I love that this thing is being cited at all as if it's some sort of evidence of anything, because obviously this is an anonymous person giving secondhand information. No, third-hand information. Okay, from somebody that they knew on set, but they're not claiming to be the person with the information. They're claiming to have talked to somebody who had the information.
Right.
And that's why this shit is so convoluted.
Yes.
But I think it's meant to be, because I don't know if you guys remember, but Melissa Nathan and Jennifer Abel were sharing text messages with each other, talking about how they were going to flood the zone with bullshit, and then they were thrilled that the press was so confused. Like, their objective was to confuse everybody.
Yeah.
So I think that's what this is. Okay.
Yes.
So he said, "I'm using a throwaway. I know someone who worked on the movie for most of its run who would have gotten these details piping hot, not some grapevine situation."
Like, who uses those words?
I have no idea.
All, piping hot is such a fucking publicist.
It's it's like such a gossip columnist type of language.
Type language.
Yeah.
Let's just say I can't think of anyone that I ever worked with in Los Angeles that would come in with piping hot.
I got this info piping hot.
Yeah. Let me say this.
That's the tea.
I could think of a few people actually. And I don't think any of them made it past PA.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. The piping hotters.
They told me firsthand what they know. So that's not firsthand. That's secondhand. You have the information secondhand. Maybe thirdhand. I'll give bullet points. Okay, so here they are. This is also chronological, which I think is interesting. So this person planned out a story, okay? Supposedly, Blake felt that Justin made her uncomfortable on set. And I do recall that the publicists were talking about how it was a win that Sarah, was it Sarah Nathan? Anyway, it was a win that there was an article that went out that was critical of Justin Baldoni, but all they said was uncomfortable. And they were happy about that. They were like, they can have uncomfortable. We don't want specifics about harassment. Okay, so here it is again. Supposedly, Blake felt that Justin made her uncomfortable on set. One instance in particular they said was that Justin told Blake she looked sexy in what she was wearing on set. I don't know the context around it. Okay?
Yes.
Second bullet point. Apparently Justin wasn't happy with the original editor's cut of the movie, so he hired his own team to do his version of the movie.
So that's so wildly off.
Yeah.
So we don't... This one throws me.
Yeah.
This one throws me for a big loop-de-loop.
Maybe it's meant to. Anyway, this is the first one that's actually contradicting the story that Justin Baldoni tells, right? So right there, if you're on Justin Baldoni's side, this whole post is now crap because they don't know the story from even his side. Like, it's not credible information.
Yeah.
Because they got this wrong. Apparently, Justin wasn't happy with the original editor's cut of the movie. Who was that? Who was running that cut? The editors don't cut it themselves.
Nope.
Yeah, so here we go. So he hired his own team to do his version of the movie.
Which we know is the exact opposite, right? The accusation being that she got her own editors, the one that she used for the music video.
The opposite. Right. So already this isn't credible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Blake wanted to do her own version of the movie as a result, but Sony said no. Okay. Is that what Justin Baldoni's alleging? Not at all, right? No. And that's not what she's alleging either.
No.
So no, but neither side.
It's, that obviously that fact is conflated with the producer credit fact. That's the only thing I can glean.
But do you see how this
based
is
on
like
the very limited information I have?
Neither of the side. There are undisputed facts of this case, right? That both sides agree on, and this thing is not even telling that story.
No.
And it's not telling either side's story either.
No, it's... Yeah.
So it's total bullshit.
It is.
Okay. This next one. Blake goes to Sony and threatens to go to the New York Times with a story that says Justin was sexually harassing her on set if they don't let her have her own version. This one is so interesting to me.
So planty.
Yes, but
So
check it
very
out.
plenty.
So this was posted in August of 2024.
Yes.
The New York Times article it wasn't published until December. Was it December or January? Anyway, whatever, end of the year.
Yeah.
This is forethought, right? I mean, this is foresight months before the New York Times article was even a thing. So whose side is... Okay, if Blake Lively's side put this, had something to do with this Reddit post, right? And she was thinking, I'm going to talk to Megan Twohey at the New York Times. I'm going to show them evidence, right?
Yes.
Her side might be able to have predicted in August that New York Times was a thought, right? A plan, an eventuality. But this person is being so critical they can't possibly be on Blake's side. They're telling a story about how she's, demanding things from Sony and being unreasonable. The rest of the post is not favoring Blake Lively. Okay, so it just doesn't make any sense.
Right.
If this was from Justin Baldoni's side, right?
Yes.
From Justin Baldoni's publicist.
Yes.
How could they have known about the New York Times in August? I have suspicions.
Okay.
I have a theory.
Yeah.
Okay. It reads, Blake goes to Sony and threatens to go to the New York Times with a story that says Justin was sexually harassing her on set if they don't let her have her own version. Who knows about the New York Times publishing stories of sexual harassment? Melissa Nathan knows.
Sure.
Jennifer Abel knows. The New York Times covered Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, and they were representing Johnny Depp.
Most famously, they covered with Megan Twohey the Weinstein fall.
Yes. So, but they know. Okay, so Megan Twohey has already reported on Melissa Nathan's work with Johnny Depp. If she's planning on doing the same work again, don't you think that Megan Twohey and the New York Times might be top of mind?
Yes.
She's the one I'm thinking is behind this, because who else would have known? Who else would have thought about the New York Times specifically in August, months before Blake Lively ever released? I went to the lawsuit that they had against the New York Times, okay? That Justin Baldoni filed a lawsuit against the New York Times. And I was like, if they had known that Blake Lively was, in quotes, goes to Sony and threatens to go to the New York Times with a story that says Justin was sexually harassing her on set, that would have showed up in that fucking lawsuit that Baldoni filed against the New York Times.
Well,
he doesn't know this.
Well, what we don't know is whether or not somebody said that Blake said that to one of the... Now, what I mean by she said that, not as a threat, but as a, if this fucking guy tries to pull some shit, I'll just go to Megan Twohey. Like, I'll walk right into fucking Megan Twohey's office if this guy wants to fuck me over, because this wouldn't surprise me as something being said by somebody under threat. I'll say that somebody that I knew, and that person having known quite extensively what I went through, was married to this person who was a big executive, and this dude apparently got
the big executive.
He got, like, somebody messed with him or something, and he came home freaking out, telling my friend that he was going to fucking ruin this person's life. Now, this person, this dude also knows me very well and knows very well what I went through.
That your life was ruined
They
over
knew
some argument.
a lot of us on our side, this person. And they're sitting there like because of and I recall the dispute being like, like a fucking, a dispute, like nothing, fucking ruin somebody's life over it. Do you know what I mean? I don't know why there are these people in this world that have so much, venom toward anyone who might seem as though they're at odds with them or whatever it might be. Like, it's a very strange
I know,
thing.
they want to absolutely destroy people.
It's not like uniquely American either. I had a friend in Canada who this guy pissed him off, and this guy was in Canada illegally, and all the dude did was piss him off. That's all he did. And the guy had been living in Canada probably 6-7 years at that point. And he got just called up Immigration Canada and said, hey, this fucking asshole's at this apartment. He's living there now. Goodbye. Hung up. 2 days later, that guy was gone.
That's fucked up, Dale.
Straight up ruined the guy's fucking life. Ruined his dreams, took away whatever he was trying to work toward for nothing. The guy was absolutely no threat to anybody. So there's just something in some people that just makes them fucking god awful.
Okay.
I don't know what it is.
What does that have? Can you help me figure out what that has to do with the Blake goes to Sony and threatens to go to the New York Times with a story that says that Justin was sexually harassing her on set if they don't let her have her own version?
Well, it doesn't matter. I don't know where this information comes from. I'll tell you that when I think about that post, I think it almost reads like a Blake Lively post.
But it's very anti Blake Lively.
It's why it's not a Blake Lively post.
Here's my theory about that too. Is like, okay, Blake Lively might have known that she was going to go to the New York Times, but I don't think that she had a story from Megan Twohey before there was evidence of the retaliation. Remember, she had it was October. This post went up in August.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
It was October when she found the when
they got the phone.
When they got the emails and messages and text messages between the publicists.
Yeah.
So they got evidence of the smear campaign in October.
Yeah.
This was in August.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was until October that Megan Twohey even had a story to write about, because she writes about retaliation. She writes about trying to bury people who are complaining about mistreatment.
It is such the New York Times thing is extremely weird.
It's super weird. This
Yeah.
is like some foresight. The reason why I think it's Melissa Nathan is because she had already gotten burned by the New York Times for doing this same thing. She just started a new campaign to do the exact same thing that she was going to do.
So it's like an eye roll so predictable?
Huh? Maybe. I don't know, dude. Like, I'm just saying, like, she's the only person who I would think that the New York Times
it makes sense.
it would be top of mind for her, because she was like
Blake Lively.
She was just starting this campaign. This is the very fucking beginning of it.
Who could it be close to Blake Lively that would do this? Who would be close to Blake Lively, close enough to where she might hear Blake Lively venting? Again, that's where when you asked what it was related to, I was just talking about how people go off and say fucking crazy shit, like like that. Like, I've seen people talk about burning people's lives over arguments.
Right.
So it wouldn't be out of like necessarily, it wouldn't be so far left field if Blake Lively said something like, "I'll walk into fucking Megan Twohey's fucking office and we'll have a chat."
Do you think that
whatever.
that there's any validity to this? Blake goes to Sony.
No.
Okay.
That's not possible, and Blake Lively have a career.
Here's the thing I've been trying to explain to people too.
You can't
I was like,
blackmail the studio.
Yeah, I was like, Sony is not going to take instruction, direction, demands from anybody who doesn't have an ownership of the property that they're working on.
There's no way.
She's an employee. She's not going to fucking talk to them that way.
Look, they know, you know what's happening around her right now. Her stock fell dramatically. Ryan Reynolds can't take a piss without everybody turning it into something devious
scandal.
and malicious.
Yeah.
So, and the studios know this. I mean, studios have been around for more than 100 years. They've seen stars fall like falling stars. They've seen them like just swoop out of the sky. They're done. we, as people who are in our middle age, we have seen stars come and go just like that. We watched Angelina Jolie be the biggest thing one day and gone the next, while she's still operating life Angelina. Do you know? So the studio understands who's what in the scenario. There's no chance. There is no chance that Blake Lively was able to leverage anything on Sony like that. No chance. And survive it. There's no way. And just think about the correspondences that we do know about from Sony to the production,
right?
That we do know about from Sony to Blake
They're
Lively.
happily working with
Let's
her.
try and figure out how that makes any sense.
Right.
How is that? It is entirely incongruent with the evidence, the record that we see now.
Okay.
So there's no possibility.
I don't think so either.
That has any validity.
Okay,
whatsoever.
so these next few bullet points are like sort of in a chronological order. Okay, like this is like the first thing, and then the next thing, and then the next thing. Okay, Blake goes to Sony. Okay, sorry, I'll back up. Blake wanted to do her own version of the movie as a result, but Sony said no. As a result of Justin Baldoni hiring his own team of editors after the first editors who inexplicably were working on the film after he didn't like their work, okay?
Yeah.
So Blake wanted to do her own version of the movie as a result, but Sony said no. Blake goes to Sony and threatens to go to the New York Times with a story that says Justin was sexually harassing her on set if they don't let her have her own version, which is like...
There's no chance that happened.
No, it's impossible.
No, it's impossible. And
her own version of what?
Remember, she's already filed.
Sony's like, we got this, Blake.
She's already made complaints to multiple people.
Right at this point, yeah.
Yeah, she's already made complaints. There's nothing to threaten. They already know. So that's what makes your Melissa Nathan.
Yes, dude. Melissa Nathan on the phone. How can I help you?
Give me Melissa Nathan. I got some things to tell her. That makes your Melissa Nathan theory extremely viable.
Because she just got burned by her, bro.
Burned by them.
She got fucking named all over the place for being
responsible. She knows that Blake Lively is going to. Blake Lively's from New York. Where's Blake Lively going to go? The New York Post?
Yeah.
No. The L.A. Times?
No, Megan Dewey is like, oh, you want to tell me another story about Melissa Nathan? She's like right here, top of mind. Like I'm ready to write more about this lady.
I think you're right. I think this stinks like Melissa Nathan, especially because she knows how to garble the facts to create a shield.
Yeah, she was talking about how she was going to deliberately put negative stories out about Justin Baldoni, but they were going to be controlled negative.
Yeah.
Which is why it says Blake felt that Justin made her uncomfortable on set.
Right.
They threw in the sexy comment because they knew that that's the most tame one. Okay.
Super tame. Everybody would be like,
tame.
Oh, please, if that's what she's complaining about.
It's not
fucking little mean girl fucking bullshit.
Yeah, it's not Heath looking straight at her when she's naked,
Yeah.
Just,
Or showing her fucking nude pictures of her.
Right, making a sexy comment is so small. But then also...
It's really not that small, though.
Of course it's not, dude. It's her boss.
It's so fucking easy for
I'm just saying, like, they're
people who don't have to deal with that to be like...
I know.
Oh, what a puny little problem that is, as opposed to, like, the person... that's happening.
I'm not saying it's small.
It's fucking, it'll freeze you in your fucking boots, man.
They were talking about how they were going to deliberately put out some negative stories just to make it seem like they had control over it, right? Not fully negative, like they're going to omit a bunch of stuff. And then also that this New York Times thing, I just think it's really interesting.
Sonia,
okay,
by the
so
way,
then, do you want to see the rest of this?
Sonia says yes. Sonia says that Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively are monsters, and I think that's so cool because it's almost Halloween. So that's kind of perfect. Two Halloween
monsters meaning like they're like the titans of industry, they're like monsters in the business.
Drink?
No. They're like monsters in the business, like they're like big strong.
Are they monsters?
Right.
I think Ryan Reynolds would make a great Herman Munster.
I'm going to get back to this.
Great.
You can keep talking about that, but I'm just going to run through the rest of this, okay? But just because this is so fucking weird. So Blake goes to Sony and threatens to go to the New York Times with a story that says Justin was sexually harassing her on set if they don't let her have her own version. Doesn't make any sense. Sony freaks out, okay, and says, okay, whatever you want. That's what they wrote.
Right.
Sony freaks out and says, okay, whatever you want. Like, on what planet would that happen?
There's no planet.
There's no planet.
There's no planet where Sony just goes, okay, whatever you want when it comes to a fucking movie they're putting out. That's not ever how that
This
works.
one's interesting because listen to what happened. What we found out yesterday. This next one said Justin is banned from the Sony lot.
Right.
We just found a declaration yesterday that was heavily redacted about how Justin Baldoni, after It Ends With Us, was banned from a set.
What set? God, I want to know what that is.
I know. It was right after, though.
I mean, I don't even know why I want to know. That's so fucking crazy juicy. It's so funny that Blake and Ryan are monsters.
So that's in this,
and he's the one getting banned from sets.
That's in this too, bro. So Melissa Nathan.
So they banned the good guys.
So Melissa Nathan would know about that.
The good guys are getting banned.
Justin is
banned.
banned.
I can say that's true. I got banned.
Okay, can you focus? Can we talk about this?
I'm just setting the stage.
I'm just trying to move along. I have so much to talk about tonight.
Let's go. Hey, listen, don't drag it.
I want to bring it all.
Don't drag it. We got to make room for entertainment. You know,
so that's so interesting. Justin is banned from the Sony lot, is what it says here.
Yeah.
He said in parentheses, I don't think forever, just for the run of the movie, but I could be wrong.
So now this would be August.
Yes, it's August.
What set would he have been on? I think that's too soon.
So listen, so that declaration that we saw yesterday, it was heavily redacted, but it was quoted today in the, it was submitted with the, her motion for treble damages. And the reason why the lawyer submitted that declaration is because that is when somebody heard Steve Sarowitz talk about how he was going to completely destroy, he talked about Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds as dead bodies.
Yes.
And that is the person who...
worse than that. It was much worse than that.
It was so much worse than that. I'm trying to just summarize. Yeah, I know. I know.
No, there's no reason not to.
No, because we're going to go over it.
No, because look, they just called these two monsters. Steve Sarowitz compared his response to Blake Lively and
making protected
Ryan
claims.
Reynolds, protecting claims, saying that he was going to protect the studio the way Israel protected itself from Hamas. And then he went on gruesomely to describe tens of thousands of dead bodies, and that two more will be as a result of his wrath. If they test him. And then, it's so funny because when you read it, it reads as though he got some kind of a reaction, as if like somebody was like, "The fuck did you just say?"
Oh my God, I know. So I have to go there now?
Because he was like, "Well, not dead. I mean, dead to me."
Okay, let me find this quote. It's so insane.
What fucking monster?
You want to talk about fucking
what
monsters,
monster
bro?
compares this dispute, a dispute over these issues, to
it was in the
what's going on in Israel?
The person that said that Justin Baldoni had
Palestine
verbally abused this person, and then that he was banned from the set. This was after the premiere.
Yes,
it was soon after the premiere.
So that wouldn't have happened.
And this is when. What do you mean?
Well, because that would be so soon. That's like days.
No, I know. Listen to this. This is the context. That was not the only time Mr. Sarowitz made such a threat. This comes after he's going to spend $100 million to ruin the lives of Miss Lively and her family.
Yeah.
That was not the only time Mr. Sarowitz made such a threat. Later in August 2024, okay?
Yeah.
Even though the film had turned out very well, that's a quote, and Wayfair had, in quotes, made a lot of money on it. Thanks to fucking Blake Lively's work, right?
Bobo's here. What's up, Bobo?
Mr. Sarowitz confessed to another witness who was in that declaration about how Justin Baldoni got banned from a set after verbally abusing him. I don't know who. Them. Mr. Sarowitz confessed to another witness, an individual who was working with Wayfair on an unrelated project, that if Miss Lively or Miss Reynolds, in quotes, ever cross the line, ever, then I will go after them. I will protect the studio like Israel protected itself from Hamas. There were 39,000 dead bodies. There will be 2 dead bodies when I'm done. Minimum. Not dead, but you're dead to me. So that kind of dead, but dead to a lot of people. If they ever get me to that point, then I'll make it worth their while, because I'm going to spend a lot of money to make sure the studio is protected. And it's so incredible because in the middle of this statement, you can see that he looked at the person and that person was like, had the what the fuck look on his eyes. I'm sorry, I have to read it again. It's like, I don't know how to act it. I will protect the studio like Israel protected itself from Hamas. There will be 39,000 dead bodies. There will be 2 dead bodies when I'm done. Minimum. Not dead, but you're dead to me. So that kind of dead. But dead to a lot of people.
Not dead. You're dead to me. That's what I was saying. It's like, not dead. You're dead to me.
Dead to a lot of people.
You're dead to a lot of people. Like, you know what I mean?
If they ever get me to that point, then I'll make it worth their while, because I'm going to spend a lot of money to make sure the studio is protected. You're going to spend a lot of money, all right? Fuck, dude. Treble damages. What a fucking lunatic. Who fucking talks like that?
That is, yeah, a monster. A monster talks like that.
Anyway, I just, I think that it's really interesting.
These people are supposed to be fucking religious.
I know, but
seriously, they're supposed to be like actually religious people.
I know,
like, hi, I'm a religious person.
It's one of those religions. Okay. So Justin is, so back to this Reddit post that was in August, right?
Yes.
The same month that he said that. Okay.
Yes.
Said Justin is banned from the Sony lot. Well, that's in the same declaration from the same witness that heard Sarowitz say that, said that Justin Baldoni was banned from a set. So
yeah, I know.
That's interesting.
It is.
Okay. Next bullet point.
Like, was he banned from multiple sets?
Fucking maybe, dude. I mean, he hired 4 reputational like publicity firms.
I know.
To fix his reputation. So maybe there's a lot we don't know about this guy.
There might be. We get. It's so funny because we get these comments on a regular basis, and well, never mind. I kind of lost my track. But yeah, we don't know. This
what
guy
are you
might
hiring
have so
4
many
people
fucking
for?
Skeletons in the closet. Like we don't fucking know. Bodies in the backyard.
Maybe, bro. There's probably no bodies.
Fell Bombing says at the end of this whole thing, Sony said that they'd make 10 more movies with Blake. No way she marched into their office and demanded anything. That would never happen. This woman, Ryan Reynolds, like these guys thrive on deals with studios. Like Ryan Reynolds' marketing company cannot exist without studios.
They're not going around threatening people.
Reynolds, all of Ryan Reynolds' movie projects are all studio pictures. Every single fucking major production company on the planet Earth wants a deal at a studio, at a major Hollywood studio. They're the absolute most powerful thing there is in Hollywood. They are the gods of Hollywood.
Yeah.
You know, they've been there forever and they're going fucking nowhere.
Anyway, I'm going to move on from this Reddit post. This is just like the most interesting.
Yeah, thanks for bringing it up.
Those are the most interesting parts. The rest of it is about like, you know, Blake has to hire a new editor, Taylor Swift is involved, but it's like none of it's very juicy. The most interesting things that I feel like are kind of clues as to who's behind this were in the first like 5 or 6 bullet points. But I also did find Melissa Nathan and Jennifer Abel. Melissa Nathan texts Jennifer Abel, right?
Yeah.
This is in August 9th. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Yeah. Maybe September. I'm sorry. I don't know how their date is set. Melissa Nathan tells Jennifer Abel, all press is so overwhelming. We've confused people, so much mixed messaging. And then Melissa Nathan says again, it's actually really funny if you think about it. So this is their tactic.
Yeah,
they're trying to like flood the zone with bullshit so nobody knows what the real story is. Because the only thing that they care about is that nobody believes Blake Lively's story.
I gotta tell you, it's all very weird because, you know, like with the whole Pam Anderson, Liam Neeson thing. So Pam Anderson came out and made some very, you know, definitive statements about how she doesn't play PR games. Because I felt manipulated in that process when I was talking about it. I was like, God damn it. You know, because I was like, first of all, there was this moment that I saw between the two of them where she was looking at him when they were in the conversation of, you know, romance or whatever. I think the context was that the interviewer said something that he had talked to Pam Anderson right after shooting Naked Gun. And Pam Anderson, although didn't say who specifically, said that she, you know, within days of being on the set, she fell madly in love with someone. And so the person was it him?
Lover.
Like in that thing, was it him? And then she looked up at Liam and she had that look on her face that is very similar to the way that you look at me. And so I was like convinced immediately in the moment.
You're like, I know that.
I was like, I know that look. She looked at him that way. Every guy wants that.
She's such a lover girl. I love Pam Anderson.
Well, so anyway, then it came out that it was a publicist manipulation. Then Pam Anderson now came out. So I'm just saying, like, who's doing the fucking mind fucking? Because if she wasn't...
You can't trust any of it.
It's crazy because
Ever.
who was doing it? It wasn't her. It wasn't her. So who was doing it? Was it Liam Neeson's fucking people doing the mind fucking?
I don't know, man.
Like, who wants to mind fuck with that? Was it just the studio?
You're all upset.
Is it just the studio? Well, you know, isn't it crazy though? Because what's happening is this country is sliding into the fucking ocean. And it's all happening because people are confused, like you said in this in this part. People are confused. They're getting completely turned around, spun around backwards. Half of the Trump supporters that are out there who voted for him didn't know up from down when they were doing it.
This is what I mean about like, this is the fucking dark arts, bro.
Yeah.
That they're celebrating this, that they're celebrating that they deliberately did not provide clarity to a situation, that they deliberately did not provide clarity about how their client is being misunderstood. Their client should be given the benefit of the doubt. Their client is a good person, despite all of these accusations, whatever. The things you might fucking expect.
Yes.
Instead, they're celebrating all press is so overwhelming. We've confused people, so much mixed messaging.
Yes.
That's what they're fucking trying to do. They're trying to confuse the situation.
Yes.
And I just feel like you just can't trust people like that.
And it's just like, so the reason I'm getting animated about it is because that's what's happening to us through, like, on everything. This is the case here. We're talking about Baldoni, Blake v. Baldoni, but it's happening on every level. Politics. It doesn't matter what it is.
Of course, it's happening.
Entertainment.
If it's happening for this fucking celebrity bullshit, of course it's
so
happening for
because
more consequential things like fucking, war and,
whatever
politics and
whatever
everything.
whatever it is, Jeffrey Epstein, whatever it is, it's all just us getting fucked over. Conley DiCaprio, I see what you've written. You've got to hang out because I'm going to address this. Did you see what she wrote?
No.
She wrote, because of your book, me and my friends are going to make a movie together. So thank you so much for inspiring us. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be terrible. Who knows? Stay here tonight. Don't sign off without telling me and giving me like a good 10 minutes to rattle on about that. I want to talk about that.
Go for it.
What, right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so first of all, like ups and downs like crazy. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that, right? Just get into it. Just fucking roll up your sleeves and have a good time. No, give me a moment. I'll take a moment. I'm gonna take a moment. Stick around. Let's stay with our story. I'm gonna reread that though, and then I'm going to.
You're gonna brew it up.
I'm gonna brew this tea because first of all, it's very exciting, and it's something that's like perfectly said, and then must be perfectly done.
Yeah, that's exciting.
And so I want to. So I pinned your message, and I'm gonna get to it before the night's done.
Ooh, I saw that. That's neat. I didn't know you could do that.
Oh, you guys can all see the pinned message?
Yeah.
Oh, neat.
That's fun.
We're gonna talk about it. That's cool.
Dr. Susan said at least it was piping hot nonsense from that fucking Reddit post. These people are nuts.
By the way, Dr. Susan is here, and I'm so glad to see her again.
It's nice.
And there was another moment that I needed to. Oh, I don't remember now.
I think the reason why Melissa Nathan was so comfortable with sharing to the world the sexy one is because a lot of her complaints are so much worse.
Yeah.
Like the fact her complaint that he tried to tell her that he spoke to her dead father.
Listen to me.
That's so much worse.
2 years he's gone.
I know.
2 years he's gone.
I know, dude.
It's like one of the
that
loves
grief
of her
is
life.
fresh.
Yeah, that grief will never. That grief will be there for another decade.
It's such a disgusting way to conduct yourself.
Predatory is the only word for it.
Also, that he was
and it worked on his wife, or maybe it didn't, but he used it on his wife.
According to her 17 points and her amended complaint, right?
Yeah.
She was talking about how he would speak openly about how he didn't always take no for an answer from women. He also apparently, and I don't know the details of this, but apparently he described his. Somehow it came up in conversation. He described his genitals. Yeah. Another time he said, him and Heath said that they would like trade women. Like basically, if Baldoni didn't want a woman, then Heath would have her. Just like completely disgusting conversations.
I was at a job, and this really cute girl started, and all of us we were single. We really perked up, And this one dude was like, he called dibs.
Oh my God, what the fuck?
I looked at him, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
What's the fucking matter with you?
What is wrong with you?
I know. Well, so
here's
the
thing. I
thing.
couldn't believe it. Like, I honestly just wanted to kick him out of the fucking room.
Yeah,
you know
of course.
what I mean? I was like, you're just a fucking broken human being. I was like, she's not a fucking dibs. You can't dibs a person.
Well, that's the fucking people you work with, bro.
No, I don't work with them, actually.
No, not anymore.
No.
I thought you were.
I did, yeah.
It's so uncomfortable to be in those situations.
Putting
like
it on me?
No, I'm talking about like how you and I like tried to make friends in this town that we live in, and you'll hang out with people for like 3 times before they let the racism come out, and you're like, what the fuck, dude? Like, now I have to fucking leave and find someplace else to hang out.
It's true. That guy that I'm talking about, we were months into our working relationship, and then this girl came in, and we were all like, boo, 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 and he was like, I'm calling dibs right now. And I said, what? Did you just say?
I know.
You know.
Well, like instantly changed my opinion of you.
Wow, it did. I never looked at him the same.
I was saying all of that about Baldoni and the accusation against him just to make the point that it makes sense why Melissa Nathan would want that sexy one to go out.
Yeah.
Because she's like, okay, well, that's the tamest of all of these. All these other ones make him look like a really fucking bad person. But the sexy comment, like, that could be misconstrued. That could be something where he just made her uncomfortable, right?
It's easy for people to not buy into it.
Right. But all those other ones are way worse.
You know, it's easy to be skeptical about. And then, you know, when you start then bending or skewing the narrative on her to being a bitch or being a pain in the ass or whatever, or a mean girl, you start painting her in that color because, and I talked about this before. It's, you know, there's something psychological that happens that transforms that beauty into something very undesirable. You know, because I experienced this, and I'm speaking anecdotally, but I'm speaking anecdotally with a very serious effect because, you know, there's so many different faces of so many people that I once adored, that I once loved, whether it was musicians or actors or whatever it might be. And based on their horrible deeds or just something reputationally that reached me that wasn't even necessarily true. Like that has happened to me where I've heard something about somebody, looked at them, applied it to their constitution before me. Do you know what I mean?
It turns them ugly.
It turns them ugly.
Yeah.
It makes them ugly.
Yeah, you should be wary of being manipulated to do that.
Exactly.
You know,
this is the part of me where I get angry, bro. Like, what the fuck you messing with me for? Fuckers.
Yeah, it's tough, man. We all rely on like being judgmental, right? Like we all have succeeded a lot from being judgmental. So it's super easy to manipulate that out of people.
I love what Delicate's saying. She's saying that I think Blake is more interested in taking down Melissa Nathan than any of these men. And I just totally believe that. I think these men are bowling pins. The game that she's trying to beat is the PR game that she knows is rigged to do exactly what it's doing to her and to others. I mean, I think there's certainly a lot about Justin Baldoni that she feels is necessary to expose. Like, I've gone over this before. I think she saw this guy, had a hope and a dream that this guy was going to be what he was advertising, was not. In a hurry, she found out that he was not. Realized she was back into that same old tired scenario of being a second-class citizen to these men in their positions of power. And that's what led us to the point where then he started to like really hand in the evidence, and she then started to file her complaints. This by the time they began rolling cameras and began production.
But Melissa Nathan is the central cog, right? Like, so she's the central connector between Brian Friedman, who's doing damage.
She's the facilitator.
Yeah, she's using all of these people too.
But I think it's both. I'm just saying, like, I think Nathan is definitely in her scopes, and I think anybody remotely close to Nathan that's involved in this, she wants to expose at the very least. And I think what she's done is really quite massive, because I can't imagine Nathan's going to have an easy time getting a lot of work, or she's going to be a constant walking liability. I mean, what a mess. I don't know how she gets insurance. And without insurance, what is she?
For real.
Because we already know that she's a walking controversy because she's just, got sued again. Just got sued again. So, she's achieving that goal. I know. But there's no way she's not also trying to protect women from guys like Baldoni.
Well, and look, so what I was saying earlier about Megan Twohey having written about Melissa Nathan before, that was fully an opportunity for Melissa Nathan to straighten her shit up and become like a regular fucking crisis manager,
Yeah.
And not play these fucking shenanigans anymore. And she didn't. And look at the mess she's in. I feel like she probably got enough warnings to like straighten out, and then she was like, okay, one more gig, like the hitman who retires but then he gets dragged back into the game,
Yeah.
And it destroys him.
Al Pacino in the worst the Godfather movie.
That's what this is for her, because Melissa Nathan got exposed for everything that she did for Johnny Depp.
Yeah. We have Alicia here, who says that Leo's new movie premiered today called One Battle After Another. I can never remember the fucking name, man. It's a really bad name. If I can't remember it, well, maybe not. I am 55 and
you're getting up there?
Is
that what you're trying to say?
I guess it could be, I can't remember this name. I just forgot it. I have to go and read it again.
Yeah.
One battle after another. It's a good name in that I like the sentence. Like reading that sentence, I like. It's enjoyable. One battle after another. Sounds exhausting. Do you think you will watch it, or will you not watch any of his movies since the whole Don's Plum situation? I am tempted to watch this one. I normally do avoid his movies. The last movie I saw of his was The Departed. And I just couldn't miss Jack Nicholson working with Martin Scorsese. That wasn't going to happen.
Right.
I was like, I'm not fucking missing that. And I'm glad I didn't. And I thought Leo was excellent. Actually, I ended up seeing that and be like, okay, I can take it. It was like, I used to smoke cigarettes and then I quit. And then I was hanging out with this guy after 4 years and he kept smoking during parties and stuff. And he goes, yeah, I'm a social smoker. And I was like, I could probably be a social smoker. And then I like smoked one and then I just kept smoking them and ended up re-addicted again.
That's how it happens.
Yeah. So it was kind of like that. I watched a Leo movie and then I was like, I can do it. I can watch Leo movies. So I watched The Blood Diamond right after that, or Blood Diamonds or whatever it was called. And for which, he was also highly regarded. And I thought that The Departed was a far superior movie and performance. I didn't actually like him in Blood Diamond.
Yeah, I often think he's miscast. I know that I'm in the minority there, but
now there's another person who I did not know, but recently told me, and I just didn't realize it. But he was like, he said, and I never knew this about him, but he's like, I've never been a real big fan of the man's acting. And I was like, really? He's like, no, I just feel like it's very one thing.
Yeah,
he's good at what it is, but I just feel like I
know
know exactly what I'm going to get before I show up for it.
I was super hyped when he played.
I think he's a great actor.
I was super hyped in after What's Eating Gilbert Grape because I was like, holy shit, this kid has range. Like, oh my God. No wonder he was nominated for that.
It was an unbelievable performance.
It was flawless.
Not only was it an unbelievable performance, but when you think of that performance coming after This Boy's Life, which was a phenomenal.
I know.
Like, This Boy's Life is one of my favorite movies of his.
I also thought he was really good in Basketball Diaries too, but then he started getting these then he started getting these lover boy roles, and I was like, but he's like a kid.
Well, it was Romeo and Juliet.
Romeo and Juliet. I was like, he's like a kid. That's like she looks like a woman and he looks like a boy. Like, this is a very strange type of situation.
Well, he tried the the sort of low budget indies and they didn't really work. So.
And then when he was cast as Hugh Glass, which is a American legend that I'd known about for a really long time, I was really I fucking threw my shoe. I was really pissed about it.
A pudgy Hugh Glass.
Yeah, I was
well-fed
like he
Hugh
just
Glass.
like they announced him, and they showed BTS footage of the shoot, and I was like, why is he pudgy? Why did he just walk right off the yacht and into that fucking?
Why does it look like he's been drinking alcohol for 3 straight days?
Oh yeah, it looks just like a mountaineer. It looks like he just finished a filet mignon last night. Fucking guy. I didn't expect him to go full The Machinist, like Christian Bale, but dude, lose a few maybe,
I'm curious to see this one, even though Paul Thomas Anderson has pissed me off to my bone marrow. I'm mad.
You're mad because he shat on art house films?
Because he said Leo called him an art house director, and he said he was insulted by that.
Yeah.
I was like, what a fucking loser thing to say.
So he's in the doghouse for you?
Yep, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, I don't understand people who don't give back.
Yeah. That's true.
This fucking guy is been held on a pedestal forever. And he hasn't made, all of his movies aren't fucking great. They're just not. I'm going to say it. P.T. Anderson has not made every movie flawlessly by any stretch of anybody's imagination. He's made some good ones, obviously. There Will Be Blood was fucking masterful in my opinion. Boogie Nights, but for the casting, I think Mark Wahlberg I thought he was terrible for the role. I thought he worked fine. I thought P.T. Anderson worked with him well. I thought he was terrible for it. I didn't find him believable in any way.
He was kind of a small component comparatively because
the movie
there was so much going on.
Yeah, and it was so well done.
And it was exquisite, and the other actors just carried the whole thing too.
Did,
so
Reynolds and what's her name, Heather Graham was so fucking amazing.
Dude, Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yes, out of this world.
Julianne Moore and everybody else in those movies.
No, the cast just was on fire, and so he was fine in the role. I just felt it's just a shame. I mean, you could have put Toby in there and done a better job personally. Yeah.
No. Oh my God.
Ugly porn stars is the thing.
Nadine said if it makes you feel any better, I haven't heard of that new movie.
Well, that's so. I'll tell you, Nadine. That's why that's so crazy. Is Paul Thomas Anderson has not worked with a budget over $40 million. This budget is $150 million.
Yeah, so he needs to make that
money
back.
You don't know about this movie that is coming out in 2 weeks? Holy shit.
Did you see that the 9th Conjuring movie in the Conjuring franchise just made like $158 million?
Really?
Yes. It was the highest grossing.
Conjured a bunch of money.
I know. It was The Conjuring. It was the highest grossing one in the entire series. So you know how everybody's like, oh, we should stop doing like reboots and sequels. Well, now they're never gonna stop because the number 9th apparently was the winner.
Wow.
I know, isn't that nuts?
Don's Plum 9.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't the 9th of the only one. There was a bunch of spin-offs, you know. They did one like about the haunted doll for a little while. It wasn't a Conjuring.
I don't know if I've seen any of them.
We have to watch 9 of them.
That sounds exhausting. Austin just showed up. What's up? Did you say 9th?
Go Vera and Patrick. Yeah. Yeah, they made a ton of money.
Who's that? Vera and Patrick or what?
Patrick Wilson, is that his name?
Is that who it is? The actor?
Yeah, and then Vera Farmiga.
Oh.
The actors.
Yeah, Vera Farmiga.
We saw a documentary about the characters that they play in that movie. It's loosely based on these like haunted, what is it, ghost hunters type people?
Yeah.
Where they go and they basically like they're not exorcists, but sort of. Do you know what I'm talking about? It was a couple, and we saw a documentary about how they went, and there was a bunch of audio recordings of them. They had to like exorcise the demons from this teenager, young child.
Yeah.
You remember that one?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's what they're based on.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. Did you ever see the one, The Exorcism of Emily Rose?
No, I want to see that one so bad.
Oh, it's so great.
I know. I love those stories.
It was the only other one outside of The Exorcist itself that I thought was like, oh, this is fucking good. You know?
I'm into all that paranormal shit, the hauntings and the possessions and stuff. It is officially spooky season. I had to look this up. They say that that spooky season in the stores begins July 5th because that's when the stores change from summer stuff to fall Halloween decor.
Yeah.
Which is a stupid way to gauge when shit happens. But I think everybody just sort of decides that September 5th is the beginning of spooky season. So now we're allowed to fully indulge.
We can indulge. All scientists said that they remain horrified about the allegations surrounding the filming of the birth scene. I too feel the same way. I think that one of the most egregious of his offenses was putting his friend between her legs in that scene. Everyone knows what the fuck he was doing there.
You see what I mean? This is what the publicist did not want to come out, and so instead they were like, okay, well, let's just say he called her sexy. Like, no big deal.
Yeah, I know, because if
because that was a big fucking deal.
As soon as I heard the words for the first time that he hired his best friend to be the OBGYN, and then to hear, and I think I heard them in the order of that, you know, he was hired, the friend, to play baby catcher, and then subsequent to that, I heard about Baldoni wanting her to be naked.
Yes. But then after that, you heard that Justin Baldoni's own wife played an OBGYN in a different scene. Yes. But for some reason that nobody can articulate, he didn't use her as the OBGYN in the birth scene to make Blake Lively a little bit more comfortable.
It's another fucking opportunity missed. He could have put, I told you this.
Because he wasn't trying to make her comfortable.
I'll say it over and over again. Put Ryan Reynolds in there with some makeup on there. Like, do an Easter egg.
Exactly.
You know, you got Taylor Swift. Do an Easter egg. Throw an Easter egg into your fucking movie. Put Ryan Reynolds in as the OBGYN. She's going to feel amazing. If you want her fucking naked, make her comfortable.
That's true.
You want her naked. Like, if you're doing it for the art. If you're doing it for the art. But you know what? He wanted her naked so that his friend could be sitting on the other end of that. He wanted her naked so that he could exploit her. And I believe that fully.
It's super bonkers that he tried so hard to describe Blake Lively to the world as difficult to work with. But he's putting her in situations where anybody would be difficult to work with.
Honestly, I can't believe she allowed it.
Nobody would comply with anything that he's asking of her in that scene.
I can't believe she allowed it. I cannot believe she allowed it. I can't believe she was not like, hey, this is not fucking happening.
We're closing the set. This is bullshit.
And this guy isn't playing it. So, you know, go find somebody else because I don't care. I'll pay his fucking wages. He can go.
Yeah, right.
He's out. You're not playing baby catch with your fucking friends. You know, it is so grotesque.
Put her foot down.
It's so grotesque. It's such a grotesque act. And it's also something that something you would do if you were like 17 at the latest. You know what I mean? Like a senior in high school or a junior in college, about to make your last stupid mistake.
And this is another one of those that he's not denying.
That he's in his 40s and he's pulling that shit is really fucking something else.
I just think it's really incredible that he's not denying this. Like in his lawsuit where he's, I guess presenting his defense for these allegations, he's like, well, yeah, my friend did, play that role, and I did cast my friend in that role, but he's qualified to do that job. Like he didn't. It's just like the complaint remains, bro. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
It's so uncomfortable. Anyway, yeah, I'm appalled by that one too. I can't believe I didn't remember it earlier.
It's one of my. I think it's one of the ones that like really freaks me out the most, just because it's so deliberate. Like so when you tell me about Jamie Heath and his stupid like see I'm right moment, like I knew,
what's this?
I knew these kinds of people who would like do something like come to me the day after and show me some stupid video of his wife being naked in and giving birth.
Oh, right.
As a means to try and prove a point that I defeated him in the day before, or
he's trying to win an argument that has ceased to be important.
Like he felt challenged. Like in other words, like I was able to like build a bridge between what he did and to stupidity. I was like, okay, this was probably stupidity and not like something so egregious. But there's a couple of things that are just egregious. Like if you walk into a woman's trailer and you're a producer and the owner of the company, well, first of all, forcing yourself into that trailer, which is what he did, by refusing to meet with her any other time than that moment, was the first inappropriate step he took. But to be able to move into that, like you own the company, you're the producer of the movie, you produce Man Enough podcast.
Yeah, right.
You are all of these things, and Blake Lively getting makeup taken off, insists that Jamie Heath turn around, and instead he catches a glimpse.
No.
She catches him looking at her.
No, he doesn't catch a glimpse. She looks
You're
up at
him. You're
him.
supposed to deny. You're supposed to always affirm.
Yes, and not
yes,
no,
and,
but.
Yes.
She looks at him and he's looking directly at her. That's the story.
Exactly. So he was looking right at her.
Dude.
She was sitting there bare chested. No producer is going to do that. No real reasonable, like well-minded producer who understands the scope of what they're doing, man or woman, no producer is going to fucking turn their head around at all. They're going to look straight ahead. No doubt about it.
It's so weird.
And when you start adding all these things up, like, that, and then, his putting, insisting that she's naked for the OBGYN scene, putting his friend in between her legs.
It's an important detail when you say that, when you start adding these up, that you said that is super important.
Yeah. Because
the guys on, Gavel Gavel made this point that I thought was really smart. If you look at the timeline of when these scenes were filmed, by the time she does the dancing scene where she's super tense and she keeps telling him like, let's talk, and he's trying to kiss her the whole time, where he does the horny growl, that was at the end of an entire month where all of those things had already happened. The sexy comment had already happened. Jamie Heath running over to her with a video of his nude wife giving birth, after the argument. So the birthing scene had already happened, and all of that conflict with the birthing scene. And also Jamie Heath looking at her naked in her trailer. Like all of these things had happened, and nobody in Wayfarer is giving her any fucking help.
Exactly.
Right? She's already complained to Sony, and she's already had a meeting with them about all of these complaints, being like, look, guys, we have to figure this out. Something has to change. Right? That's all documented according to Baldoni.
Exactly. And
that's all before that dancing scene. So when you see that dancing scene and everybody thinks like, they're reading into like, oh,
no, as an isolated moment, as if everything was hunky dory leading up to and proceeding this moment,
that she wasn't more obviously repulsed after all those things happened.
First of all, you see her when she breaks away at the end. Well, we're going to do the horny growl episode. We're not going to do it right now. What do you think? Friday? What do you think? Friday?
Oh, sure. We don't have to schedule. You can just,
Let's aim for Friday. Well, I'll after having this new issue, which I know how to solve, by the way, I will correct it, and then I'll set up the Horny Growl episode, and then we'll do a run through, you and me.
Yes.
And then after one of these afternoons, do a quick run through.
Sounds great.
And then we'll drop it, and we'll make it happen.
Alicia is with us.
Hi,
asked
Alicia.
a question. If Don's Plum worked out, do you think you and the Don's Plum cast would still be friends or have a close bond still, or maybe drifted apart?
I don't know. I mean, I'll say that I was already feeling, it's hard to say. Who knows? I loved those guys. I would have probably, they would have made me rich and they would have made me a filmmaker, with Don's Plum. So I would have think that I would have felt very indebted to them, deeply indebted to them when I'm sitting on like living in a new home and, paying off my dentist bills, I think that I would have, I think I would have felt deeply indebted to them. And so I think I would have been very loyal. That's not to say that I wouldn't have, I don't know if I would have been hanging out with them if they were doing shit like what I read about with Elizabeth Berkley. And
where they bullied her.
Where it just sounds like bullying.
Yeah, it was really hostile.
Yeah, I don't think I would want to be around that too much. I think that like I did a pretty good job at avoiding big trouble. Like a buddy of mine I was hanging out with, he worked for Robert Evans. Robert Evans ran Paramount and was close friends with Jack Nicholson. And they used to have a weekly or, not weekly, but a frequent party at either Robert Evans or Jack Nicholson's house where they would have Heidi Fleiss girls and mounds of white powder. And I got invited and I was like, nah. I was like, I'm not going to do that. Okay. I wanted to meet Jack Nicholson more than probably any other actor on the planet.
Like,
I never did get to meet him.
I will get in trouble.
I never did get to meet him, but I was like, I'm not going to meet him under these kinds of circumstances. I'm not going to put myself in that situation because there's no way that I'm going to get out of that situation scot-free. I'm going to get in trouble some way, somehow, if there's like mounds of white powder and just all trouble around me.
That's very smart.
Yeah. I said, nope, I'm not doing it. And so I think that with Leo and all the guys, if I started seeing them going down some paths that, because I'm a bit of a fool, and if you've read my book, you'll know that I make mistakes. I'll go out and get too wasted and make mistakes. And
yeah, you were in your 20s.
I'm fortunately no longer a drinker of any kind, but when I was, there was always a slight chance that I could just get way too drunk, and if I did, then like so many people who get way too drunk, find myself making bad decisions or decisions led by,
right in front of Jack Nicholson.
Right in front of Jack Nicholson.
No way.
No way.
No way.
I was like, dude, I need to meet that guy. I want him to think I have a good head.
I'm not going to let Jack Nicholson remember me for the wrong reasons.
Yeah. I don't want. And the last thing I want to see him is like banging hookers. I mean, I don't want to see any of it.
Oh yeah, right. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I was like, what?
That's pretty horrible.
Like, yeah, there's rooms because they have like rooms, I guess, or whatever. And I'm
my God.
Listen to me, I'm not doing that.
No, thank you.
I'm not going to do that. I was like, and I don't even want to know what happened.
I know. There's just some clubs where you're like, okay, cool. Like I'm almost in this like elite club, and then it turns out it's all bad. You don't want to be in those clubs at all.
It's
like
so fucking lame.
So.
It's just like having all of your heroes, sort of die in front of your eyes in terms of, them falling from grace.
Yeah, there's like this big story in the news now about exactly that type of club where you're like, holy shit, they're all monsters.
Yeah. Yeah.
When the astrologers were looking at Donald Trump's astrology to predict whether he was going to win the election or not, a lot of people predicted this time as one of his most difficult, and that was what made people think that he was not going to win. Because they're like, look, he's got all these fucking legal problems. He's got all this reputational damage. Like, there's no way that he actually wins and then also does all this. But look at where he is now. It's happening.
Ryan should have played Ryle. I don't know if she could play him. I don't think he could play him. Actually, I don't know that Baldoni was miscast. I think he was well cast.
I think that Baldoni probably plays an excellent villain.
The problem with it wasn't that he played Ryle. The problem was that he directed the movie.
Yeah, he also had this weird concept that he wanted Ryle to be like some sort of, some figure that we feel compassion for, that we feel empathy for.
Yeah. Hey, listen, you know what? I don't even care, right? Like, if you're going to get I get the performance I want. I don't give a shit. I don't care if you're picturing your mom. I don't care what you're doing to get there. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I like what you give, you know what I'm saying? Like, because if I come at you with something for subtext. If it's writing, if it's, something performative, it could be something that I'm doing musically. If I'm throwing something for subtext out, I almost always miss. You know what I mean? Like I got my, my subtextual idea, and it's very difficult to pull off because you want to, subtext is buried beneath. And so, you have to try these things. You got to put these layers on top of things, and you're trying all these different, so I just always fail. So I just don't, do you follow me? Mm-mm. You don't know where I'm going? Mm-mm. How about I lost you? You look like I lost you. Have you ever wanted to make someone, have you ever wanted someone out of an actor, but they just can't do it, but they're already cast? Yes.
Who?
Well, I did.
Is that bad mouthing? Are you not going to say because
I'm not going to say, but there's been a couple instances in probably every movie where you cast thinking that they're going to handle it, and then when the actual lights go up and it's not an audition and it's not that, like a rehearsal or whatever. Oh my
God, this is like my worst nightmare. Because that would be me 100% of the time.
It's me. I wrote about it. I could read you the scene. Yeah. My mouth dried out. It was fucking horrible.
I was reading this comment. Guilty Angel said, "I bet you Justin brought a whole album of inappropriate photos to show Blake."
Yeah.
And it reminds me that he wanted Blake Lively to be naked during the birthing scene. And she must have just been like, why would anybody suspect there to be a fully naked woman in a hospital, in the birthing unit of a hospital? Like, if you watch that movie and then all of a sudden she's like completely naked instead of with like a gown, a loose gown that they put on them in hospitals.
Yeah.
You'd be like, what's up with this hospital? What a weird scene that she's totally naked. She must have been like, that never happens. Because he said that his own wife was naked. What a fucking weirdo.
It's just weird.
And
it doesn't make any sense.
Everybody's talking about how she didn't stay true to the book. Well, neither does he in all of these instances either.
You don't. When you adapt, you don't.
I know, but neither does
nonsense.
he. It's
yeah,
like
it's nonsense. It's just nonsense for people to think that anyone does.
If that's their red line, well, then they should be pissed at him.
Misery was an absolute sublime adaptation of Stephen King's incredible novel, the movie Misery by director Rob Reiner, and for which Kathy Bates was nominated and maybe won for Annie Wilkes.
Yeah,
playing Annie Wilkes. Absolute fucking masterful adaptation.
It was so perfect.
Totally different.
Yeah.
Totally different.
Not totally different.
Well, this is what makes it such a great adaptation, because it was totally different.
A little different.
No, well, I don't agree with you. And the reason I don't agree with you is because the book is so deeply embedded. This was the whole thing when they announced the movie. I was immediately intrigued, because I was like, well, how, Rob Reiner, will you create a movie that where the book is entirely in this man's head? Like, the whole book is in the motherfucker's head.
It's so brilliant.
So how do you adapt that into a fucking movie?
Yeah, well, also,
I thought that, and that's why it's such a great adaptation, because he was able to pull it off without being able to do that, without having that facility.
I know, he fucking nailed it, dude.
He fucking nailed it.
I know, it's probably my favorite adaptation. Well, that and The Body, Stand By Me, is really, really excellent. I think that's Stephen King's favorite.
But
we have a Long Walk to judge pretty soon.
Oh, I can't fucking wait.
So pumped about.
I mean, there's a lot of great Stephen King movies. Like Running Man was a lot of fun. I don't know if it holds up.
They're remaking that,
Yeah.
It's probably going to be pretty awesome.
I think it's going to be better. I don't think that was bad casting.
Our current situation is a lot closer to that dystopia too, so it'll be a little bit of a cautionary tale. Okay, so you had other things you wanted to talk about tonight. And I did too, but I don't think I can get through it all, so maybe I'll save it for tomorrow.
Let me see. I don't even know. I have to go look and see what I have.
Kindly DiCaprio said, "I love Stand By Me. OMG, Will Wheaton is very underrated as an actor to me. That whole cast, I couldn't believe they were kids. They did so well."
By the way, so DiCaprio's movie's coming out, right? Mm-hmm. And I had a person show up on Reddit calling me a scammer, saying I didn't refund them for an audiobook. And then another person showed up saying basically the same thing on YouTube.
What?
And neither of them will respond. Well,
are you in a smear campaign, Dale?
So I responded and I said, why wouldn't you just reach out to me?
Yeah,
I don't know anything about this.
It's a normal thing to do.
I attempted to refund everybody for their pre-orders on the audiobook. If you didn't get a refund, reach out to me and I'll do it.
Like normal people.
Then he had another comment removed because he came after me again saying, why didn't you reach out? And I was like, I just fucking told you, that I gave everybody a refund. If you didn't get yours, then you need to fucking reach out to me. Because, I mean, I don't know if you've ever had to like go back to somebody and say, hey, I bought it and it didn't work out or whatever. But you usually just go back to them.
Yeah, it's very normal.
They're going to these different spots and they're picking it. So they found an old post on Reddit that's like a couple years old, like on our Entourage. Somebody was talking shit about Don's Plum and I ended up getting a notification. So I went into the chat. It's Reddit. It's basically a forum. I went in and I spoke and I actually dropped the book and then whatever. So this guy shows up, whatever, almost a year later, and he
what a weird way to
call me a scammer.
That's so strange.
So I think it's gonna start.
Oh, it's gonna start.
Yeah,
we're gonna have a smear campaign.
Yeah,
great.
Yep. I think it's gonna start. I don't know what they're gonna get. I don't know what they're gonna try to pull on me, but we'll see. Should be interesting.
It'll be televised.
I got no sketchy past that they can play with, so they're going to be playing with empty.
What about me though? What about my sketchy past?
Well,
I'm gonna have to go into the witness protection program.
Angela, why didn't you tell me about this? Really? You hunted elephants?
I didn't know you were such a dizzy dame.
A dizzy dame. All right, let's see what I do. I must have some things. I haven't really.
Dale eats baby pandas, says Spellbombling. They're very expensive. He doesn't eat them very often because they're so expensive.
They're very expensive. Tender.
Tender. So tender.
So tender and expensive.
Succulent.
Succulent and tender. I showed you that. So there's a. I'm gonna like touch on this Epstein stuff because it's just too much. It's too crazy. So there's I guess it's like a 50th anniversary book that got released.
Okay. So first of all,
yes,
the whole thing that they're saying about Jeffrey Epstein,
yes,
is that he was constantly accumulating blackmail, photos and videos.
Yes.
Well, evidently, according to this, everybody was taking pictures and sending very compromising admissions about the things that they did.
Like they wrote it
yes,
down.
like celebrating it, gossiping about it, talking about, traveling down memory lane about their worst criminal exploits and then sending it to him as a gift for his 50th birthday.
So
and he was just like soliciting this from these people and they were providing it. So what I'm saying is like these people were blackmailing themselves. It's so fucking weird.
So what's so frightening about it
Yeah.
is that it shows their hubris. It shows
Yes.
how they truly believe because
they think they're untouchable.
They're royalty.
Yeah.
Somebody posted about it that I think you mentioned, describing it to the Kubrick film with Tom Cruise.
Right.
What's that one?
No, I saved Eyes Wide Shut.
I Was Shut, right?
I know. I saved
here
this.
we
It's
have
so
a
funny.
secret society, right? Secret society, illegal sexual, deviant club. And it's with the highest fucking people. Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, 2 presidents, and Prince Andrew.
Oh, this is it. Okay, so this is the real Thelma Johnson.
The real Thelma Johnson is
Yes.
pretty great.
It's this the icon is this old lady, so I don't know anything about this account. It's really great. It's at the real Thelma J1, okay?
Yeah.
The thing that gets me about the Epstein story is that while most pedophilia PDF files, is perpetrated by family members and trusted individuals known to the family, this Epstein story is the Eyes Wide Shut, evil, elite, cabal stuff MAGA and Q people have always talked about. It's Epstein and Trump and billionaires and politicians and well-known elites. And now that it's here with evidence like this birthday book, they don't want to have anything to do with it because Donald Trump is involved. It's horrific and it's shameful. And it's plain as day. It's the most astounding thing you've ever seen. It's this compilation of like jokes and cartoon drawings and everything that it's all bad. It's all bad crime stuff.
Yeah.
And they're all admitting to it. Anyway, I wasn't going to bring it up because I don't know what to say about it. It's all terrible.
One thing I want to bring up is because Donald Trump was trying to deny the signature that you saw that they released his, which has the drawing of a naked,
where
what has to be a naked child.
He wrote about the secrets that they keep.
the secrets that they keep, and then in the shape of a figure of a child. I say a child because there's nothing voluptuous about this drawing. It looks wildly, it's crudely drawn, but you immediately can see that he's drawing a young girl. You can see it. I'm not going to describe it beyond that. You know, you can go and look at it for your own self. Anyway, it has his most peculiar poem that he wrote to his dear friend, Jeffrey Epstein, and then he signed it at the bottom. And his signature, he denies, because it doesn't look like the ones that he does with the Sharpies on, on his executive order rampage. Well, Keith Olbermann, do you know who that is?
Yeah. He's a sports
he's actually
anchor,
not
right?
now, but he was, yes. And he was, at the time, in 2014, when Donald Trump wrote him, and this might have been around the same time, but Donald Trump wrote him to compliment him on something about a Lifetime Achievement Award or some shit. I don't even fucking know. Keep up the great work, said Donald Trump with best wishes, with a signature beneath it. Couldn't be it's his signature.
It's a match.
It's the exact same.
Yeah,
I love that Keith Olbermann released that because he turned into a political commentator. He left sports and then he went into politics. So anyway, so thanks to Keith Olbermann for that. So I mean, it's pretty wonderful. This thing is persisting. I'm a survivor. Yeah. I want these victims to win so bad. They represent all of us. They do.
Yeah. Right.
Every time I see or hear, because I can never get justice for what happened to me. Mm-hmm. Never. These people are in Winnipeg. They went on with their lives and they got away with it. And they literally destroyed so much of my future. So to know that, that these people are out there, that these survivors are out there, and they're pointing fingers, and it's coming out. It's too great. There's too many of them. You know, you can't just you can't Putin them all. You know, you just can't. So
it is so gnarly.
It is.
I don't even know what to say about it because it's so horrific. It's just like they're just joking. Like there's one that's this drawing where basically it's an illustration of a grown man like grooming little girls by bringing them gifts.
Balloons,
and then,
right?
Yeah, and then in the next drawing, it's several years later, and it's the same man. His hair is white now. I guess that's supposed to be Epstein.
It is.
And he's surrounded by nude girls.
Massaging him.
And there's just like, it's just...
Yeah, well, the whole book is all over his sexual exploits, too. It's not like... There's no like... hey, Jeffrey, I just want to say thanks for the way you've enlightened me, inspired me. It's literally all about his exploitation.
Yeah, not a single one of them was like, hey, remember that time that you like totally like rocked at karaoke or something? Like none of it is normal. All of it is about like them being like total fucking creepy old men horn dogs and like doing really fucking gross crime stuff. And then talking about all the secrets that they did. There's one of them where they talk about holding girls at knife point. It's really fucked up. Like,
and saying something they like take the clothes off by knife or whatever.
Yeah, right. He brought a knife to get their tops off.
So needless to say, these people are these are the true monsters in our lives. But what's so amazing about it is how much they've gotten away with it. Like, look how powerful they really are. Like this got busted up. When was Epstein first arrested?
Oh, I don't know the
on
year.
Those charges that he ended up
Years
getting
ago.
away from. I'm gonna find this out.
Okay, so the guy who did that drawing that I just referred to, somebody figured out who he is. Okay.
Yeah.
He was the chair and president of a. This is all okay. I'm sorry. This.
2006.
I'm getting ads, so it's jumping.
2006. It's been almost 20 years since indicted. So we're talking.
I know this thing's been covered
years.
up forever.
That's how much they've gotten away with it. It's crazy, dude.
Anyway, this guy is I'm not going to name him because I don't want to get in trouble. Anyway, he is the guy that wrote that drew that illustration that everybody's freaking out about.
Yeah.
He's a member of the Palm Beach Police Foundation and a frequent flyer on Epstein's jets. His listing in the Black Book contains 17 phone numbers. His daughter is also in the Black Book.
What?
Anyway, it's really creepy. He's also in a picture where Donald Trump has paid Jeffrey Epstein $22,000, and they make a joke about how it's to sell a person to him.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I can't remember who's. Anyway, he's in that picture too. This guy.
I am thrilled that it at least appears as though there's some justice coming down. I just love that it won't go away. I love that they're gonna be able to get it out. I can't tell you, unless you're a survivor, it takes so much fucking courage to do what they're doing. I couldn't do it to a guy who lived down the block from me. That these people are standing up against the likes of these kinds of powerhouses in life.
Yeah.
It's just immensely courageous of them. I'm terrified. Right. I'm going into my nervous mode as we head into DiCaprio season. I don't know what they're going to do, and I'm nervous about it. I know they're going to try and stop the book, or they're going to try to stifle the book, and they might succeed, and that has me nervous. And if they don't succeed, and it does get traction, then that has me nervous in terms of what they'll do. So that these women are doing what they're doing is entirely too wonderful, I must say.
We'll see what happens. One thing that I think everybody can agree on is that this is the beginning. This is the beginning of something. This isn't going away, and it's getting worse.
It's definitely
it's getting worse for those involved. We'll see.
So Michael Caine somehow got insured. He's coming out of retirement at 92 years old.
Wow.
He is going to be acting in across from, I guess, Vin Diesel in The Last Witch Hunter 2 at Lionsgate.
What?
Yeah. 92.
He's coming out of retirement for a witch hunter movie with Vin Diesel?
I knew this guy who...
is he out of money?
Who sadly kind of lost his way of thinking. I mean, I want to say he lost his mind or whatever, but I don't want to sound insensitive because I think he had like a couple of mental episodes. He called me up though, and knowing that, my history in Hollywood, and he said, hey, do you think that the reason why these people work so late in life is because they got to deal with the devil? Like that they are like beholden to some kind of, money or some kind of contractual thing. And, I can't remember which singer it was, but it was right around the same time that there was like all this footage of, was it like Ricky Valens or somebody that they were like,
yes,
practically wheeling out.
Yeah.
And then he would stand there and like shake.
Yeah, that was him. Yeah. He just looked really dazed.
It was fucked up. It was like fucked up.
Yeah, it looked like elder abuse.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And so I told him, I said to this guy, Bill, no, these people want to do it because they love it. They want to do it because it's all they know. They want to do it because they become so famous that they can't go out into the real world and experience the real world the way you and I can.
That's true.
So the one adventure that they can always take is an adventure in the movie that they're going to make, or an adventure on the tour. Yeah. And that's why, imagine loving something so much that you never want to stop doing it. That's what it is, Bill. It's people loving something so much that they don't want to stop doing it. I know that seems incomprehensible to you because you've never even remotely touched on something.
Yeah, well, that's what it is too. That's so interesting that he had to come up with a reason that was like had this paranormal aspect to it instead of.
If I could make movies till the day I die, I would do it.
Because he couldn't relate. He couldn't relate to wanting to do something that bad. Exactly.
Couldn't understand it. Can't relate to the idea that there would be a desire that Ricky Valens still wants to see the crowd, because a lot of the truth of life empties out of you when you become super elite and famous, because you can never trust that anybody around you isn't there for, like, Taylor Swift sings about it in that song where she talks about her sister-in-law, right? Killing her because she thinks she's in the will or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Laughing up at her from hell. It's this kind of mentality where there's a thought of people always wanting something from you because you're this rich and you're this famous person. And so there's always this state of doling out, giving out. And I kind of lost my track for some reason. Sorry. Anyway, Michael Caine, 92 years old, loves acting so much he's going to do it again. It's
so funny that you're like, well, he got insured somehow.
Sony got him insured. I mean, he can't. He's got to have a small ass part, right? He's probably shooting for 1 or 2 days.
Is he a vampire? I guess.
When I shot the
a witch, maybe.
When I shot the Christian movie, we got offered. God, who was he? I don't know. Somebody massive back in the day. So old. I think it's like those kinds of roles where they're like, take them for 1 day. Just take them for 1 day.
Yeah, right.
And then they get the whole like star treatment. They get the big trailer 1 day.
So frail. Good for him.
I hope he loves it. I love me some fucking Michael Caine. When I found out that Tobey Maguire was working with Michael Caine, everything dropped. My whole heart, my skin, my chin. I gained weight. It was horrible. It's terrible. I just said terrible and horrible at the same time. Did you hear what I said?
Torrible?
I said torrible. Do you want to hit there's so much going on in the chat. I don't think they're into the shit we're presenting.
I don't think so either. But listen, you have another story, okay, that you wanted to talk about tonight, and you also wanted to talk to Kindly DiCaprio about.
I know. Are we talking about that Steven Spielberg wanted to direct a Call of Duty movie?
No, we're not. But what is that? He didn't.
I was walking down the street in this neighborhood, walking our dog. I walked around a corner and parked in a driveway a Call of Duty Jeep. They came out with a Call of Duty line of Jeeps.
Yeah, I remember this.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing this thing, and I went and looked at the price. And it was a good-looking Jeep in terms of the whole color scheme. It was all dark and, but it was like, and the price was outrageous.
Yeah, dudes love
and I
their
said to
toys,
myself, what fucking dumb motherfucker is going to buy this piece of shit for this amount of money? And he lives over there. He lives right over there. I walked over there, dude. I walking the dog.
You had to knock on the door and just to meet him. He answers the door and like, is that your car?
Take a picture
just
of me
checking
with him and the dumb motherfucking car that he bought.
That's funny.
I couldn't believe that anybody would ever do that. Well, I wonder if Steven Spielberg might have done it. He has money to burn.
Oh, you got corrected. It's not Richie Valens. You said Richie Valens?
Did I say Richie Valens?
Well, Richie Valens is no longer with us.
Yeah, Richie Valens is dead.
It was Frankie Valli.
It was Frankie Valli.
It's the same name. Whatever.
Same guy, different fucking karma.
I know.
You're right. Richie Valens died young.
Okay, so you're not talking about a guy's Jeep. What are you talking about?
No, I'm just saying that, I couldn't help but tell you guys about coming across. It was like amazing. Seeing a fucking, it's like that and a Bigfoot are like the two things I've probably wanted to see most.
I just can't believe that they can create those things, market those things, and then successfully sell those things.
Somebody bought one. Strange. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh, wow. Like I would never drive around with that brand. I'm as a man.
Oh, speaking of which, this week, the publicists that work for Tesla got a call about another deceased person found in a Tesla. And they must have been like, wait, did we do this one too?
So David, who I think I have heard of him. He's smashingly good looking.
He played Coachella this time.
Oh, probably that's why I know him then. Anyway, he's on tour. He's on a world tour. Big fucking deal. Traveling all over the place, singing with his band. Gets a call because his car, a car registered in his name, a Tesla, was impounded at a Hollywood towing company.
Yeah, it was somebody called it to get towed from the Hollywood Hills. So somebody had parked it there or something.
And it got towed.
And it got towed and it got impounded.
And within it was a chopped up is the title or the words used by the writer. I read this. Chopped up body. Decomposing inside of it. A chopped up body. That's not, by the way, the first body in a Tesla.
No, I know.
You remember Elon Musk? He shot a car up into space. It now orbits our Earth.
No, but that's also, Tesla has these really big problems with people getting trapped in their cars if
Angela,
they catch on fire.
You're taking away my big joke.
No, I know.
You're not allowed on this stage. You're not giving it.
Elon Musk knows that there is a person in a fucking Tesla that
is jettisoned
into outer space.
And it's in a spacesuit. And I am absolutely certain. As soon as I saw it, the first thing on my mouth was,
exactly,
there's a body in that car.
I know. I was like,
that's a dead
why are
person.
you guys calling this a mannequin? That's the weirdest thing anybody could ever do. Of course it's a fucking body.
That is a body.
That is
in
somebody's
car. That's not
body.
a mannequin. He has killed somebody or had somebody killed.
Yes.
This is all for entertainment purposes and my opinion only. I'm entitled to it.
Even here on this planet, Teslas are known to be very faulty and they harm people mortally by trapping them in the car when there's some sort of malfunction or a fire or something. It's awful. So I know that the Tesla got the call about a dead body found in a Tesla, and they're like, oh my God, another one. Oh wait, this is different. Somebody else put it there. Horrible.
I don't feel like hooking up, like doing any kind of transitions for you guys today, so call me lazy. But the last thing is I saw this great post that has almost 30,000 upvotes on our face palm saying, what year is this?
Wait, that was a weird segue. So we don't know what happened to the body? Nobody's identified it yet?
It's decaying and I guess they got it in a freezer now.
Well, at first they thought it was David. They thought it was the singer.
Yeah, he's okay.
But then they located him. He's like, oh, okay,
like,
so what the hell
David?
is this?
Yeah. David, what's up? Yo, hey, listen, Anyway, somebody killed somebody, put them in that car,
Yeah.
left it on the side of a road
Mm-hmm.
to where it got towed, and then they towed it, and then a body began to wildly
Can you
decompose
imagine?
in chunks.
Can you imagine just like going about your life? Like
No.
you're on tour, you're happy,
No.
you know,
You
things
get
are
the
working
call.
out. You get a call like, I'm sorry, I'm involved in what?
Yeah, excuse me? Yeah, of course I'm going to cooperate. I have an alibi.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm on a world tour. But who knows how long the body was in there. I guess they got to do all the forensics and all that other stuff.
Yikes, bro.
But they don't know. You know, in the article that I read, they knew nothing. There's an investigation. David's going to, he's made himself available to the extent that he can while he's on his world tour. And this fucking world, bro. It's so weird. I can't believe people like, so that's like somebody was murdered, disappeared. Somebody actually did that. And by the way, they chopped the body up. So that was messy. Like, I don't understand how people get away with this shit. And we talked about this like months and months ago, but like 50% of murders in this country go unsolved, which I did not know. I did not realize I could have had a 50% chance
Don't talk like that.
of escaping conviction should I get involved in something like that. And I would never. I can't kill bugs. I can't, you know.
No, that's true.
I literally cannot kill bugs. All right, transition time. I can't believe that happened. What a crazy thing to happen. Holy shit. Like walking past that car. Damn, what the fuck is that?
No, I know that's what happened at the impound yard. They were like, something's up with that car.
You ever see those videos and or pictures that every now and then pop up on places like Reddit or Twitter where it's just where there's somebody takes a picture and it's a window and covered in flies, and they're like, you're gonna want to call the morgue.
Oh my god.
Like that's kind
That's
of the
so eerie
scenario. I remember once I had a maggot situation.
Oh my god, Dale. What are we doing?
Okay, I won't tell you about it. It was so weird. Okay, well, moving on to something more positive. What year is this? Said the 29,000 upvoted facepalm post. And on it is a picture filled with white men. It's white men. They're all white men. And they're having a meeting. It's all white men. I can't even believe it.
What are you talking about?
They're having a meeting about women's health. There's no women in the room. I'm looking at the picture. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 that I can see 27 people in a room meeting about women's health. There's not a woman in the room. There's not a woman in the fucking room.
Mm-hmm.
Alert.
I know, it's so grim.
It's like fucking turn on the red lights, bro. The world is upside down. It's 2025.
You know, if one of those dudes cracked a joke about it, everybody would just explode in laughter. Because, you know, they know. It's fucking weird.
So weird. I can't understand what's
But
happening in this world.
you know, nobody's going to try and change anything because that means they don't get a seat.
Where's that picture? All right, I'll show it to you. Hang on. It's so upsetting.
Dr. Susan says, now I'm livid.
Oh, I'm livid too. I saw this picture.
It's nothing new, you know.
Well, it should be. Yes, it is. That's not true.
Well, that's why the person posted
this
it
is
saying...
a regression.
No, that's what the person posted it saying, what year is this?
Right.
Right? Because it's been that way.
Hang on one second. I'll get it for you. I'll show you.
It's cool you can do that. You're just going to make the chat really angry.
Well, Susan asked for it. She gets it. You know, we're all friends here. All right, let's see. Oh, I know what I want to do.
Did it work?
Yeah, it's gonna work. I just have to. I just want to make sure that it's cool. All right, so this is the photograph. Now you're looking at it. Not a single woman was invited to the White House meeting on women's health. Look at that photograph. I saw that photograph. First of all, they're not just men. They're all white men. Is there a black dude in there? I don't believe I can see one. Is there an Asian dude? Is there anybody other than a white fucking dude sitting in that room?
Oh, this is a scene from Margaret Atwood's Handmaid's Tale.
You're right.
Yeah, I recognize this. Because I read that book.
Yeah, I love that book.
Everything's terrible.
I couldn't believe my eyes.
Everything is terrible.
Honestly, I was absolutely shocked by it. I'm like, you can't be, wow. It's just so disappointing. I can do.
It's not like there's much health going on anyway. It's the U.S. It's like the only advanced country in the entire planet that doesn't do healthcare. So
yeah,
maybe they're not doing so much harm after all.
Yep. So Kylie DiCaprio says because of Too Real, she just finished it recently.
Mm-hmm.
She and her friends are going to make a movie together, and so she was thanking me for the inspiration, which is very kind of her.
That's so awesome.
And she was like, maybe it'll be good and maybe it'll be terrible, but and who knows? I love that fucking attitude. That's the most perfect attitude you can have.
Well, also your book is so instructive too. Like you really do figure out a lot of puzzles in your book.
Yeah. Yeah. So one thing that I think is very important is for you is, I don't know. I would say that you have a great attitude about it being good or bad. I would also say, make it great. I would also say in my head, I always think I'm going to make it great. That's it. And I really feel strongly about this. Like I'm prepared to fail. I'm ready to fail. I'm good at failing. I'm more practiced at failing than I am at succeeding. I have never set out to fail. I have never set out with any expectation other than a form of personal greatness. My personal best.
Like as opposed to, oh, this is good enough?
Yeah.
Like your goal, your driving purpose is make it great.
To make it great and make it important. Like this is an opportunity to make it very important to you, to make it important to us. But it's so healthy to understand the risk. It's crucial, really, for your sanity. I, in fact, have known more than one person who I felt like really loosened their mental health by, getting so madly committed to a project and to an outcome that was slipping away from them as they sort of didn't make it come to fruition. But the biggest thing I would say is that if you're going to make a movie with your friends, you have to have somebody there to guide that movie, to be the lead of that movie. That was me and RD. You have to have that person. Those people have to be, those people as one or more, really don't want to have that like scenario where we have too many people in charge, right? You want to make sure it's minimal. For us, it was me and RD, essentially. Everybody kind of reported to us. But the important thing is that everybody was deeply involved in the creative process, like deeply, deeply involved. And listening to them and getting them integrated and involved was, I think, the secret sauce for us. Here's the thing I want to emphasize more than anything else. Nothing has to be big. Nothing has to be spectacular. When we started making our movie, we said no actual sex or nudity. We said no, like other than like brief nudity, right?
Right.
And we said no guns.
Because it just makes everything easier?
No, because we believed that we were living in an era, like, okay, a good example of that is King of New York. Even Heat, for that matter, even though we didn't get a chance to see it yet. You haven't seen it yet. But there was this time in film during the 90s also when there was this giant reliance in particular on guns, but all on drugs
and nudity.
And nudity.
Yeah.
And that if your movies didn't have these things, it had a more difficult time to succeed. I kind of believe this is true in a lot of books now because women are really into spicy reading now, and so like a lot of publishers are like, you gotta have something super steamy in here. Like it's got to be like a memoirs or whatever. Like when I was reading McCarthy's book,
Cormac McCarthy?
No, McCarthy. Jeanette
McCurdy.
McCurdy, sorry.
Yeah.
Jeanette McCurdy's book, I'm Glad My Mom Died. She has this random, entirely too detailed, explicit
right.
sexual moment.
Right. It did seem out of place.
It just didn't even make sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't even, like, what are we trying to prove here? Why is this even here?
I was like, is this shock value? Is that what it's for? It didn't really seem to fit.
And then I gave it some thought, and then after that, my thought landed on, oh, maybe it was her publisher. Maybe her publisher was like, I mean, because like, I purposely in my book avoided any of my sexual exploits.
Yeah.
There's nothing in there.
Yeah, and I thought that was a really wise choice because
it wasn't about that.
Well, yeah. And also, like, you're inviting people to judge you about things that aren't important to your story.
That's what I'm saying. Like, her story had these, like, incredible themes, and then this popped in. And I was like, why are we doing this? What is this about? This has nothing to do with anything we're talking about, not even that relationship itself, which was with this Canadian dude, who I imagine is, in part, been obscured by, for purposes, in the same way that I did Emily Foster, right?
So you're saying that if you're making a movie with your friends,
yes,
you should avoid these things. How would you like car crashes, like attacks, fights?
Well, it's not about avoiding them. I'm not saying you have to avoid them. What
Guns,
I'm saying is that
sex, nudity.
Recognize, and something that I think is that I'm very proud about of the book, like, is about being able to take small moments and turn them into really deeply engaging, artistically satisfying, creatively satisfying moments. Like, the scenes with Terry on Hollywood and Vine in my book have nothing to do with what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Really, they don't, right? I mean, they're totally off color from what's actually going on. There's some thematic...
I mean, a lot of people's like work life doesn't have anything to do with their social life. So it's not out of place or
nothing
anything.
Out of place. But the point is that I write into the simplicity of the moment and find in that the truth, the creative sort of value, I guess. And, I have emotional goals. So here's the thing that might help you, Conley DiCaprio, is I set emotional goals, but the emotional goals I set are not emotional goals for my characters. They're emotional goals for what I want people to feel at the end of the scene or at the end of the book or the end of the project, whatever it is. So I have them planned out well in advance. I don't need to write anything because I know what I need. I can work improvisationally with actors, and I can, as long as I've got the time to be patient, and this is where you'd be doing yourself a big favor compared to what we did with Don's Plum, is give yourself time. Shoot for 9 months, man.
Oh, yeah.
Cast this movie, shoot it for 9 fucking months. And by the way, if you do that, and, certainly look at the early Sean Baker stuff to give you kind of an inspiration for, and your biggest challenge is going to be sound, but an inspiration for using what I guess we could feel would be like a more amateur looking camera or a little less, studio or polished looking camera, right? Fest Gen or The Celebration is another great Dogma 95 film by the great Thomas Vinterberg. You should check that out and give yourself sort of give yourself some, it'll give you a lot of permissions to work with the limitations that you have to find the greatness within those limitations. Because this is where your comment is also a little bit of a trap. When you say, maybe it'll be good, maybe it'll be terrible, who knows? You're setting yourself up properly emotionally here, but you also might be setting yourself up for some traps. Because a part of where terrible comes into play is often related to the limitations that you're faced with. And some of those limitations are created by being overambitious as a writer or creator. Can't even tell you how many micro budget movies that I've been presented with that have where I just hand it back and I'm like, that's $1 million movie. I can't help you.
Yeah.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Yes, it is. It is. You've crashed 3 cars.
You can't crash 3 cars on your budget.
You have them spinning over.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll CGI that. That'll look like garbage. I don't want any part of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but also if you're talking about shooting over several months, like you said, 9 months.
Yeah.
You have to make sure that you're planning to film chronologically, because what if somebody's hair changes, or what if somebody you have to worry about continuity.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure everybody's exactly the same if you're planning to film non-chronologically.
Well, you definitely want to bring on some people beyond yourself to be able to plan out a 9-month shoot. Chronologically might be the way. It doesn't necessarily have to be the way. 9 months. I shot Don's Plum in July and then in March. And
separately, not connected.
Completely separately.
So 3 days in July.
Yeah.
And then 3 days
that following March.
Yeah.
And
because you took the first 3 days and then you wrote a bunch based on what you'd already captured.
Yeah.
And then you planned the next shoot.
So what you definitely need to do, and by the way, we certainly had this conversation with our cast, is tell them, look, we are going to need you and your wardrobe again. So you mustn't change your facial hair length, your So all these things you definitely need to keep intact and keep it logged, with photographs. Make sure you photograph all your actors and stuff. But I don't want to get into that. That's too much detail. That you need to get a line producer involved. You need to get a wardrobe person involved. Build a team, even if it's small. Get a team. Get into a community if you don't already have one. Tap into every resource that you have. But where I really want to put some emphasis on it for you right now is just understanding the greatness and the creativity within the limitations that you're going to be faced with in the making of this movie. Understand that true greatness exists in these limitations, that you should not in any way go in feeling as though you can't have these things because you don't have the right camera work, or you don't have Leonardo DiCaprio, or you don't have Jenny Lewis. What you need is time, patience, devotion, and a vision that is flexible and open enough to invite other artists into it to make it, to fulfill it. But you must understand the rich creative possibilities that exist in the limitations that you are now faced with going forward. And then if I were going to make any adjustment to just that sentence, which I know it's just a silly sentence that you put in and you're saying, hey, thank you for the inspiration. The one thing I would say to you is that while there's a possibility it could be terrible, it should be nothing else but great. Like, make it great. Don't buy into terrible. Don't buy into the idea. Don't buy into the temptation of it. And understand that greatness isn't measured by anybody but yourself. Create that standard within yourself and hold yourself to that standard, and great things will come. Also, you're going to be the person who is going to bleed that out to everybody, right? You have to understand this. This is so important. Like, your attitude, right? Like, remember that when you're bring people on to be great. This is the important thing. You have to bring people to be. Do not bring people on whom it might be terrible, because they're going to bring it might be terrible with them in their bag. You can't do that. You can't do that. You have to. This movie has to be great, and the people who are in it have to be fucking great. That's what it has to be. Hold yourself to this standard. Insist on it. And that's how you make a great first film, is by goddamn insisting on it, not settling for anything other than that. And yes, I had a dream cast, and so it's easy for me to say. But I'll tell you what, I made a movie in No Town, Georgia, with a cast I had to import from Atlanta, and I made it with a first-time director. All the cast, none of the cast had any major credits. Look, we pulled off a great little movie. And one of the sort of things I had to wrestle with Matt Chastain, that writer-director, was he had this idea. He was like, it's my first movie, whatever, that's okay. I was like, no.
Yeah, like it's a throwaway?
It's not okay.
Yeah.
It's not okay. If terrible happens, then that's the result, and we live with the result. But greatness has to be the goal. It just has to be the goal. And don't sell yourself short on it. Don't refuse that at the door. And don't give anybody the opportunity to grab on or latch onto something like mediocrity, because they'll take it, because mediocrity is easy. Yeah. Angela.
You in the back?
Angela, is your name Angela?
What do you think about, I remember like 10 years ago, longer than 10 years, I can't remember. Ava DuVernay was giving a talk, and she was talking about how it's super important, if you are planning to create a short film, that you should instead just go a little bit further and make a feature.
Yeah.
Do you think that that's good advice?
I think it's mostly good advice.
She was like, if you're going to go through all the trouble of crewing up and assembling everybody for your shoot, just add one more day, right? Do the Don's Plum thing, 3 days, make a feature.
Yeah, I personally would only make a feature film, because they're the only, that's your only opportunity to get money.
You can't sell a short.
Not really. I mean, there's small, very, very tiny monetary opportunities. Additionally, if you end up making like such a smoke show of a short, it still doesn't mean you're going to be able to make a feature. What it proves is that you can make a short film. And that's what it proves to Hollywood. That's what it proves to other producers. I remember when I was working in Hollywood in 2010, we had the guy who won the Academy Award for Best Short Film, and he came and met with us, and we asked how it was going, or maybe he was just nominated. It doesn't matter. It was a big deal. He was up for an Oscar. And we asked how it was going because we knew he was from out of town, or he was from overseas, Europe somewhere. And he said, "Yeah, I'm taking a lot of meetings." He's like, "It's really hard. People aren't that interested." And the reason is because I watched his short, and if you make a short properly, then you're working within the framework of this, 30-minute moment or whatever. And they take it. It's different writing. It's not the same writing.
Oh, that's
as a feature film. It's not the same kind of. There's nothing saying the same about a short. They can be outstanding pieces of work. I would highly recommend you making a short if you've written a short, meaning that you understand why your concept fits into 16, 17, 20, 30 minutes.
I think she was pushing back.
If you can make a feature film, you should make a feature film because you can actually get money and get work.
I think she was actually. I think she was pushing back on the idea that people need to have like starter films, like starter projects, like training wheels. She was like, if you're going through all the trouble to assemble everybody to create a short film, then you're going through all the trouble to assemble everybody to make a feature film too. Like, just do the extra little bit because you're already like more than halfway there. Like, just finish.
It's true. If you're gonna put all that stuff together, you might as well put it all together and make
something you can sell.
Yeah. But look, Cosmic Urgency is saying he loves to write shorts. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, that's where, categorically speaking, they can be really great and making them can be really great. But remember that if you're writing shorts and making shorts, it's a lot for you and not for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of directors that I follow, and I'll look on their like IMDb, and they'll have like really, really famous feature films all throughout their career, and in between they'll shoot short films.
Yeah.
That are like their little fun short
They're
projects.
not just fun. It's fun.
I've never heard of them. I've never seen them. And these are huge directors. And so I just think it's really important to be realistic about your expectations about what's going to happen with a short. I remember while you and I were together,
just let me add to that if I could, because another thing about those is that quite often, if they're already successful filmmakers, those shorts are proof of concept ideas. They're like sketches that they're making for studios. So they're funded. It's like a good time. It's like hanging out with your buddies. And
maybe
shooting for far. I mean, it does happen occasionally.
They don't look like they're connected. Like usually if it's got, for instance,
it wouldn't necessarily be connected to an existing property.
I know the guy that did, but in hindsight, you can see their resume, whatever their list on IMDb of things they did in the past. But I'm saying District 9.
They wouldn't release the short of the movie that they made. They would only release the shorts of the movies that didn't get made.
The guy that did District 9, he started with a short film that was incredible, and it blew everybody's mind. It was like the first time that anybody had successfully taken like shaky cell phone camera and put a really well executed CGI monster on it. Yes. And that was his proof of concept. And that was a different title, but it was obviously the same concept. So you could tell that he was doing what you're describing.
Well, in that situation, you're looking for a much bigger budget. So sometimes when you're like looking for a larger budget, and that's what I'm talking about, a lot of these feature films.
Yeah, so he did that.
Well, and so do successful directors.
Right.
When they want to go and like hit a studio up for
I'm just
$30
saying
million,
that in the cases that I was mentioning, and I'm sorry, I can't remember exactly who it wasn't that cases. They were just making different things. But I do recall that there was a guy who was complaining because he had won the shorts, the Oscar for the best short film.
Yeah.
And he got no phone calls.
No, I mean, it's
and he
so
said
tough.
Absolutely nothing came of it.
Yeah.
I reached the top of the mountain and I was sure somebody was going to open a door for me to, Yeah. And he's like, it did not happen.
No, I mean, Griffin Dunn made the Tobey Maguire short that was supposed to launch his directing career. It did not.
Yeah.
I think he got some TV work and stuff, but it didn't turn out to be what he'd hoped for it. Quite sure.
Kindly DiCaprio said, we haven't written yet, so we will try our best to write a feature. Also, my friend is reading your book now after me, and she likes it so far.
Oh, that's great. Well, if I can be of any help, please reach out to me.
That's fun.
I mean, including like I'll do Zoom calls with you. I'll do whatever I can to help you. So just reach out to me if you want some help, and I can be very, very helpful. And depending on how you want to approach it, like be open to experimental stuff. Like open your mind up. If Don's Plum's the inspiration, then experimental film should be nearby in terms of, or could be at least. If you want to be more traditional about it, I mean, do whatever your heart is inspired to do. But the more experimental you have, the more experimental you can be. I think the more opportunity you can create for yourself if you're dealing with very low budgets. I think it's a great mix to throw, daring chances at things that could be potentially terrible. Blumhouse has made some horror features that start out as shorts.
Cosmic Urgency said, yeah.
Yeah, of course. I mean, shorts turning into features in terms of like shorts graduating into features as presentation projects has been happening forever.
Yeah, let me look this up.
The reason why DuVernay and people like me are saying don't bother is because the amount of effort that you're putting in, if you already can make the movie, make the movie. Look at that. You don't have to like follow script on this, but that's what I would do. I would never make a short movie if I'm going to put together a fucking crew. I'm not going to put together a crew for 3 days and shoot a short when I can put a crew together and shoot a feature in 6.
Yeah, so it was Neil Blomkamp's name. He was the guy that made District 9.
Yeah.
So District 9 was a 2009 feature film. In 2005, he had made a short called Alive in Joburg, and it was the basis for his feature film. So it was like a proof of concept.
Yeah, I mean,
and it blew everybody's mind. If you guys want to see it, I don't know where you can find it, but Alive in Joburg was like the very first time, because they had done it since, where they have shaky cell phone cameras, but they put the CGI in it and it works. They did that in Cloverfield. Do you remember that horror movie?
I do.
They did that in Cloverfield and District 9, and it was just like this brand new thing. And he really
right after Don's Plum, one of the first things I pitched was I want to make a big budget film that looks like Don's Plum, meaning I wanted to put like heavy duty like practicals. I didn't have a concept for it or anything. I just had mentioned like
that's awesome.
I want to marry what we did with Don's Plum with like something that we're spending $20 million on.
Are you messing with something in your hand? I can hear it in the headphones. It reminds me of Christopher Nolan's first film, Following.
I saw it.
You can see Christopher Nolan's polish, right? Which is really expensive, big budget type like artistry. You can see it in this like super low budget, like, handheld film that he made. All black and white, grainy, It's great. It's definitely worth watching. I'm going to
unpin this message now. Thank you for your...
Yeah, that was really great.
Thank you for your question. Thank you for your comment. That was very kind of you. Anyway, I just think it's all about like, just approaching things experimentally and having fun. Bodies was badly directed. Well,
according to Cosmic Urgency.
Yeah, according to Cosmic Urgency. Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, it was inspired by Don's Plum, and I don't want to like talk shit about it, but I'll tell you this. Don's Plum is not a good movie to be inspired by if you want to take that inspiration and kind of infuse it directly into what you're doing. Because Don's Plum is a moment of divine intervention. Like Don's Plum is a moment of destiny. It's not the kind of movie people have said, oh, why don't you make Don's Plum, make it again with a different cast. It's not that kind of movie. Don's Plum is an anomaly. It's an enigma. It's not something we can reproduce. It's not reproducible. Don't try. The only thing you can do is take our approach and then apply it to something completely different.
Oh, this is brilliant. So you take your approach, put it into whatever art you're trying to make, and that opens the door for all of these things to come through yours.
I've had the good fortune of, over the last 10 years or so, having several people send me movies that they were inspired to make as a result of Don's Plum. Uh-huh. In probably half of them or more, there were some serious attempts at kind of trying to reproduce what we did with Don's Plum with their cast. And it did not work and probably couldn't work. Because they weren't finding their own authentic situation within their work, being inspired by an approach to work. Like it's a good example of what I'm talking about is Don's Plum, in that we were inspired by Mike Leigh, but we didn't approach it like Mike Leigh, because if we did, we'd have been shooting for 9 months. We'd have been shooting for 6 months. We would have had a longer writing process, but we knew we couldn't have that. So we knew that our approach had to be some kind of, and we also didn't have direct access to Mike Leigh's approach. We didn't know really what it was, except that we knew he worked improvisationally and that he shot for long periods of time. So we knew we could do one and not the other, meaning we couldn't shoot for a long period of time, but we could do the work improvisationally, and we adapted accordingly. And that's what you have to do whenever you're going to work with something that's inspirational. So it's hard to be inspired by something like Don's Plum. It's not hard to be inspired by Don's Plum. It's hard to take the inspiration of Don's Plum and apply it to something else. If you're trying to reproduce a similar result, you should not approach something similar to Don's Plum and expect a similar result, because you're not going to get it. I would not get it. Did I watch The Man? No, I don't think I did. What the fuck is that?
I don't know what The Man is. I looked it up. There's a 2005 Eugene Levy with Samuel L. Jackson movie called The Man. I do not believe that that's what Cosmic Urgency is referencing.
What are you talking about, Cosmic?
Is it a show? Anyway. Yesterday we started to go over the in the motion for treble damages from Blake Lively.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there was like 30 pages.
Yeah.
And I said I was going to read it today.
Okay.
And we didn't get to it today.
Oh.
Because now we're in overtime.
Oh.
But it's a lot.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about it.
Let's do it tomorrow.
Because it's really, really juicy.
Tomorrow's treble damages.
So tomorrow I'm going to
go
over
we had a very slow night. We had just kind of our core group, and it was nice.
Mm-hmm. I had a great time.
Low stress. It was a cool night. Do you want to go through some comments before we go?
Oh, Cosmic Urgency is talking about the Taylor Swift video. The Man.
Oh, The Man. By Taylor Swift.
Have you seen it?
No.
I haven't seen it.
The Man. Well, maybe I'll watch it now.
You can't play it though.
What is it called? The Man. It's a
Taylor Swift song.
Oh. No, I'm not going to play it now. Look, man. We have copyright responsibilities. I'll watch it. It's the official video. Who directed that? Was that Taylor Swift?
I don't know. Kindly DiCaprio is asking, do you think multiple cameras is a good idea even in scripted filming, or is it the only needed when you're doing improv?
I think it's great. It's a wonderful thing to have. I used multiple cameras for the Christian movie. I don't think I would ever shoot with one camera.
Bro, it's so nice to have all that coverage, right? Where you have like the same take on all these different angles, so you don't have to have your actors do the same shit multiple times.
Well, it's not. It's less that, and it's about the having. First of all, having multiple cameras gives you an opportunity to move in and out of improvisation. It gives you pivot points, so it gives you opportunity to cut things out while keeping continuity, while maintaining a certain amount of continuity.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that multi-camera does more than anything else, it just gives you it again. It's one of those moments where it's a perfect example of what I mean by trying to make something mundane beautiful.
But doesn't it save you in the edit?
Yeah, of course.
Multiple cameras.
Yes, multi-cameras the way to go. Do it as much as you possibly can.
You have to sort of like design around them though, right? Like you obviously can't have a bunch of moving shots if you've got cameras in the way and you end up filming them.
Well, I hope you'll have a director of photography to walk you through what you might be thinking. But I would definitely shoot multicam. I would never not shoot multicam in my life. Obviously, I'll have like oneers and just whatever, these kinds of moments. We had a couple of those in Don's Plum, but I like working with multicam because it gives me some serious help when I need it.
Mm-hmm.
But it also just keeps things interesting. It gives me something to do. And especially if you're shooting in, 4K. Because if you can shoot in 4K, which is expensive because of drives and everything that you need to be able to store the material, but if you can shoot in 4K, you can, then you have punch. You can punch quite a bit. So it gives you all these different looks. So one shot might give you 3 different looks. So if you have 3 cameras, now you have 6 to 9 different looks that you're working with in the edit room. Pretty fucking sweet.
Yeah.
And so it can also create a lot of interesting moments and really enhance the experiment.
Cosmic Urgency is shaking my head.
Yes.
Because you said this morning you'd be watching it today.
Which? The Man?
The Man.
I did?
I don't know. When did that happen?
I must have fucked up. I don't remember. I must have said something in the chat and maybe I misunderstood something. I don't know. Whatever. Hold me accountable.
50 lashes.
I'll watch it goddamn later.
Straight to jail. 1,000 years.
I'll watch it first thing after we hang up here. Do you have any tips on choosing a good director of photography? The best tip is that you love them. That you can, that you love them, their work, and that when you meet with them, you're like, yeah, this is it. This is my my gal, this is my guy. You're not going to have like the pick of the crop. I didn't. We were digging around. We were looking at tapes. Just get to know, again, get to know your community and just find the right person. And that right person, you'll know. They'll believe in you. You'll believe in them. It'll happen. You'll feel it. It'll be like, okay, yep, this is the communication. You just want somebody that's going to be able to transform what you're saying you're seeing into what you can actually, and just remember that when you're working with a director of photography, it's very much a collaboration. So it's important to bring your storyboards or whatever it is that you're going to bring. But for me, I just like to sit down and have a conversation. I like to sit down and go like, I'm thinking about a 2-shot here, or I'm thinking about something wide. I'm thinking about using maybe a wide angle lens so I can get a bit of a more narrow range of, focus or whatever. I'm looking at shooting and I really I want a lot of bokeh in the shot, whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like all kinds of different things that you can throw at the DP. But I'll tell you, man, the flexibility is the funnest part. I think I told the story once before, but I'll tell it again because it was just a great moment where it's just like having flexibility on the set. We were shooting small group, and the actor Emily, she was getting lit, and we were in Video Village. She was getting lit with this pregnancy moment where she's standing in front of a mirror, and she's just kind of rubbing her pregnant gut, and they were lighting it, and they set the edge light first. So they put all the edges up. They put the edge light up. And so she was silhouetted with this nice little glow edge. And I loved it. And I was like, that's it. That's good. That's the shot. Stop right there. I wasn't directing. So it was kind of I was kind of stepping on people. But it was a first time director. And we were fucking trying to get our day. And it was a pretty picture. And he was like, oh, because he was about to throw the key on. But he was lighting, without the key first. And I was like, no. This is it. This is the light. I love it. And then the director who was sitting next to me was like, yeah, I like it too. And I was like, I knew you would. It is too beautiful. The point that I'm making isn't about, who called the shot. The point is that look for these opportunities too, when you're working with somebody. So just be flexible.
Yes.
And you'll see things because it really turned out beautiful in the movie. It's like this, it feels more intimate and more, sort of really, really perfect for the moment.
Okay. Last thing.
Yeah.
Cosmic Urgency is scolding you. This is important. Said you replied to Cosmic Urgency's comment in a video this morning, and that's when you said it. Okay.
Why?
Why did you lie to him?
Well, I'm a bad person.
Why? Exclamation point.
You're just trying to get me to make bad sound bites so people can get me. I'm a terrible person. I'm no damn good to this earth.
Like when Blake Lively said that she was a criminal and she was joking, I was like, don't say that.
Yeah. He replied to my comment in a video this morning. Oh, right. That one that I said that I hadn't seen, or I got to go now. I got to go look at it.
Now you got to watch it.
You don't understand how busy my day is. By the way, this is not that you fucking care, but I've had a headache for a month. A straight month.
Yeah, but people are going to start worrying about you, babe.
That's allergies, man.
It's allergies.
I'm dealing with just nasty, long, drawn out, horrible allergies that are just breaking my
Everybody's
brain.
Suffering from ragweed where we are.
No, I'm doing nasal sprays and fucking Loratadine and whatever else. I'm just getting crushed. We old, we forget.
So what do you think?
I think it's probably time to go eat some melon.
It's melon time?
It's melon time. Kind of DiCaprio saying, go to the doctor. This is not my first month-long headache, sadly. I've had them for the last few years.
You had migraines since you were a kid, right?
I did, but since I believe I got COVID, and since getting COVID, I think I get these long, drawn out, fucking.
See what I mean? You're making everybody.
The longest one I had was almost 7 weeks.
You're making everybody worried, babe.
Yeah, don't worry. And hey, listen, if I die,
Dale, stop it.
Well, I mean, we all die.
No, you're making everybody worried.
No fucking good, but we got to die. I like Body's Bodies, and the director gave Don's Plum to Pete Davidson to watch for his character work. Yeah. No, she was inspired by Don's Plum. That's so cool, isn't it? I thought that...
You should send Pete Davidson your book.
It's a good example, though, of what not to do, though, because when I saw the movie, I was like, wow, Pete Davidson worked way too hard on trying to be Derek. He was trying to bring this, bad boy kind of thing or whatever. And it just didn't work. And he didn't find his natural place. That's the problem with inspiration. You have to, I want to do a whole video on inspiration, because to like, a lot of people use inspiration wrong. They kind of put tracing paper over top of it, and you shouldn't. Inspiration should be it's inside of you, and then it comes out of your work. It has to be manifest into its own beautiful thing. It can't be. I've said it before. Like, the one thing that took me out of the one. It's the fucking Vegas baby, Swingers. The one thing that took me out of Swingers, when it got released in the mid 90s, and it was a big giant hit and made Doug Liman a big movie star, of course, brother to Judge Liman. So Judge Liman is corrupt, but of
course,
he did a tribute to the walking scene in Reservoir Dogs. You know, that slow-mo walk.
Yeah, and it was just like, it came out like 5 years before.
It was like, yeah, a few years, but not even 5 years. Was it 5 years?
I don't know.
95, 91, maybe 4 years. It was like way too soon. So I saw that.
And you're like, okay, you're a fan of other movies. Like, we get it.
Yeah, and it's weird because like, it was like.
Why are you copying?
Copying the guy's first film. So I was like.
That irritates me too. I'm always just like, you can integrate your inspiration without straight up copying it.
What was interesting about that is, I can't remember which director it was that I read, but I read a quote from a major director that I was like reading. I read a bunch of autobiographies and shit on them. And one of them was like, they refused to, like, they tried to avoid their contemporaries because they didn't want to be influenced by their contemporaries. That the one most embarrassing thing that could ever happen to them as a filmmaker is if somebody recognized something, a shot or some kind of inspiration from somebody that was, sitting in the room with them, that they would only allow. Just a little extreme. It
is extreme, but I respect that concern. I want,
Me too.
It's like, if you really value being an original artist and bringing something new to the world, then that's exactly how you'll operate.
Well, that's why I started really thinking about inspiration more deeply, because I have such a different relationship with it. Rarely has inspiration ever shown up as a manifestation of, or manifest as some kind of version of what inspired me. Which is interesting, because in the draft stages, I will use actual shit from my inspiration.
And then you'll just cover it over later.
Yeah. Well, I'll just, to try to understand its core. So I'll try to like find the core of it. For me, it's usually lyrics from a song. That's usually what inspires me more than anything, because I've always told you that I have these emotional goals, and I usually find my inspiration for those emotional goals in music and lyrics. But I will write like actual fucking lyrics from, my book is filled with lyrics. Filled. You will find lines from all my favorite writers, all over it. Probably 100 in there. Some of them more obvious, but where others are not so obvious. I love those little kinds of. I have my own little Easter eggs. Do you recommend self-financing? I recommend finding a financier if you can. If you can. Last question I'll take is from Kindly DiCaprio, but you show up anytime and ask any questions you want. Do you recommend self-finance? Well, it depends on the size of the budget. If it's beyond your means and it's going to put you in trouble, then don't self-finance. But Kevin Smith did it. He put it on a credit card and it worked for him. So, this is the thing about this, man. You have to find where it lies for you. And remember that you can partner with people. We shot our movie for less than $100,000, but we've got $500,000 in favors. And that's about community. It's not just about having Leonardo DiCaprio. Obviously, that helped.
Yeah.
If you get an opportunity to build your community around you, you'll also have an opportunity then to rely on that community to make your low budget film look 10 times more valuable, or more with 10 times the production value. Because a lot of the budget you'll find in favors, So look for favors. But look, it's a tough question right now. Focus on the project. Focus on the art. Here's what I'll leave you with. I've said this before. In my own life, I have experienced art come to life. That is to say that we infuse art with our desire to make it real, to manifest it into this world. We infuse that art and these ideas with every bit of love and every bit of care and every bit of inspiration that we have inside of us. And the art accepts it. It's like its energy that goes into it, and then it's like it's born, and it comes alive. And when that happens, if you're doing it right, you can choke it to death, or you can nourish it and you can grow it into something beautiful and big. And the way you grow it into something beautiful and big, in my opinion, is by really opening it up to the world around you, by looking for those collaborators and for those people who can also feed it the same kind of passion and inspiration and love that you did when you conceptualized it. So the parts about financing and the parts about casting and the parts about all the things, they all come together. It becomes a magnet for these things. Joseph Campbell said that when you follow your bliss, the universe conspires to help you. It opens doors that would have otherwise remained closed. So those doors need to be opened not by your desire to fulfill or find a financier, but instead by your desire to fulfill and create art. And when you do that, those doors are going to open for you and your film's going to come true. So don't focus on that. I would say leave that alone. I would say first you must beg for the universe's help, because that's what you're going to need. It's the universe that gets behind these movies that last forever, not just the artists. So and the way to get the universe is to focus on the first and most important thing, which is the heart and soul of the project that you want to bring to life. Where's the heart and soul lie? And then go find the actors, all of them, the ones that are in front of the camera and the ones that are behind the camera. All right. You guys are my inspiration. You really are. I can't even tell you, I've wrote about it in the book, but for 10 years, people have sent me emails and just kept this boat floating. And you guys are doing that now more than ever, not just for this project, To Real Live, but for our future projects. So this is a lot of what we're talking about. Like, we're doing it in our own way. We're making our own little community, and you can do the very same thing. And by the way, I'm here to help you. So this community has already begun for you. Your community has already begun because I'm a part of it. So is everybody else here. Good night, you guys. You are the best. Sorry for all that garbage in the beginning. It was just, I'll get better. I promise. It's new gear.
Don't apologize. You're good.
You think so?
Yeah.
Good night, Angela.
Good night.
Want some melon? Let's go get some melon. All right. Good night, guys.